as he faces a couple of sluggers and dangerous ones today. Max on the mound against the Brew Crew. Hello there, folks, and welcome back to the ballpark. You know Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton, and we trust on this Sunday. To this point, your weekend has been a good one. To this point, Prince Fielder's season has been a great one. Not a good one. A season for the ages for still a very young, we have to remember that, a very young and dangerous hitter. And the one thing that's changed, Gracie, he now has become a patient hitter.
Well, certainly, and that's what you have to do when you're a young player. You have to start learning what you can handle and what you don't handle well. And Prince has certainly figured it out this year. He is in the top 5 in just about every category, Darren.
Would Mike have a chance at that MVP award if there wasn't an Albert Pujols? Of course, he's walking, as we mentioned a lot. No Brewers ever walked 100 times in a season. He'll get there. He explains why the change.
I think I've just realized what I can hit well and what I can't. So, if there's a tough pitch, and even though it's a strike, until I have 2 strikes, or even sometimes with 2 strikes, I might take it just because, I just really try to come to grips with what I can handle and what pitches that, that I'm able to drive. So I just try to stick to those.
Kind of one of those must-win days today for the Diamondbacks because the Brewers go with Johnny Holstaff. They're running a reliever out there, and Chris Narveson. You have to win these games.
Well, you have to, and you have to finish strong, Darren. And right now, especially in this series, the Diamondbacks have just been overmatched the first 2 games. They've gotten outscored in these games against the Brewers 18-4. They've got to show up at home, Darren. They've got to show their fans that they mean business the rest of the year.
Milwaukee has owned the Diamondbacks the last 3 seasons, winning 14 of 20, so we'll see if that'll change today. Casey at the bat, Max on the mound. Casey, who do we mean? How about Casey McGee? 6 RBIs yesterday. That's right, I said it, 6. Max, maybe you'll get there. All the action is next.
Sanderson Ford presents Diamondbacks baseball on a Sunday from Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. The Diamondbacks taking on the Brewers on Fox Sports Arizona. Mark McClune back with you on the field. The Diamondbacks closing out the series with the Brewers, and then it's on to San Diego for 3. Now, last night, right here in this spot on the field, a special moment for the Diamondbacks and a special moment for Eric Burns. It's been a tough season for the Diamondbacks left fielder, but he still found a way to give back, and he was nominated last night as the team's Roberto Clemente nominee by Major League Baseball and the Arizona Diamondbacks. His wife and his baby on the field to help accept the nomination. Now, they will have the Olympians run onto the field through a Spirit Human Tunnel. Also, the Special Olympics had a triathlon this weekend out in DC Ranch. You can see all the sights and sounds and the emotion of that on the Diamondbacks postgame show, Quest Diamondbacks Live, on Tuesday right here on Fox Sports Arizona. But coming up next, it's Major League Baseball. It's the first pitch. Max Scherzer takes the mound for the Diamondbacks. Darren Sutton and Mark Grace have the call, and it's right here on Fox Sports Arizona.
Baseball brought to you by APS, the official power partner of the Diamondbacks, and by Southwest Airlines. They're ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It is on. A warm day. Ken Mockus in it, ready to get back to the cooler surroundings of the Midwest. His team heading off to Chicago. The Diamondbacks heading off to cooler surroundings in San Diego, California. Let's take a look at the starting lineup that Ken has penciled in, with former Diamondback Felipe Lopez at the top. Braun and Fielder right there in the middle. What a big day for Casey McGee yesterday. Chris Narveson will get his third big league at bat at some point. Felipe takes inside. Max Scherzer going to work. Max for the 28th start of the year, 9-9 with an ERA of 4.15. Fastball fires a strike. That pitch 92 miles an hour. Last time out against the Dodgers, 7 innings, 4 runs. Was solid to the finish line, but struggled with the long ball. As a matter of fact, he gave up a homer on a fastball, a changeup, and a slider in that last outing.
He just broke out the first slider of the day, and he got the strike. I think Max is starting to use that a little more early in the game just to see if it's there or not, Darren. You know the fastball is there.
The fastball is there. It's strike 3 over the inside corner to Felipe Lopez, hitting all year long, 306 on the year.
Right at the kneecaps, middle in. Eric Cooper just rung it up.
We will do our best. You know that in that outing against the Dodgers, we had noticed a difference in the slider because we knew that Max had really worked on it in Denver, Colorado. The fastball is low. And we did notice a difference in the outing against the Dodgers. It was a bigger breaking ball. It was a little bit slower, which you thought made it more effective.
I think, yes, absolutely. He needs something to keep. He needs something off speed. Really, his changeup is not really. It's only about 7 or 8 miles an hour less than his fastball. Ball 3 now on Mike Cameron.
And the one little phrase that we were telling you about was the quarter turn. He had gotten more on the side of the baseball, making it more of a true breaking ball, if you will. 3-1 the count to Mike Cameron. Cameron having a nice series, 4 for 9 in this series. Fastball came right after him. And the count is 3-2 to the veteran Cameron. 19 homers, 58 batted in. One of many decisions Milwaukee has to make this winter. Many veterans that are up to be negotiated with. And a decision, we'll see what they make on the managerial seat as well, as Cameron gives that one a ride up a mile high to center field. Another former White Sox farmhand hauls that one in, and that's Chris Young.
Nice job by Max Scherzer there, coming back from the 3-0 count, coming all the way back and retiring Cameron. Just challenged him with fastballs, Darren.
You've heard us this year talk to Albert Pujols and Chipper Jones and Todd Helton and Torrey Hunter and ask about what it's like to face a guy like Max, who not only has a good fastball but loves it. But I didn't have my camera, but I went and asked Ryan Braun the same question this morning. He said, I respect a good fastball, but I love facing a guy who loves to throw his fastball. He said, I will be looking fastball every single pitch. And he gets it, 0-1. He's ready to go.
He went right down Broadway with it and threw it by Ryan Braun.
Braun went on to say, when I shared Jones's comments, Chipper Jones, when Jones told us in that southern drawl, I love a young pitcher, as the 0-1 has popped up. And into the seats it goes. Jones went on to say, I love a young pitcher who loves his fastball. As a matter of fact, believes in it.
We called them proud guys. We like those proud guys. And he is very proud of his fastball, and he should be Max Scherzer.
Proud, that's exactly right. That was the real key word. As that one is away. Braun with a smile upon hearing what Jones said. Paused and he told me, I'm not surprised he'd say that. He was quite humbled when he was lumped into that group when I was speaking with him, and I said, you're just about there, my friend. Not in your career. You haven't had the length of career, but this is one of the best young hitters in baseball.
Without question. He's average. He's power. He's got speed. He's an RBI guy.
Will he see a slider? He just did. Oh, yikes. It hung up there.
Yeah, Max got to get that one down, son. Got away with it. Just a foul ball, but you're not going to get away with that very often against these kind of hitters. Take you a look-see. Oh, boy.
So he's shown it to him anyway. We know Ryan's looking for the fastball. It's outside. 3-2 the count. Braun was speaking of expectations, knowing that Max has had to deal with them. Unfair for a young pitcher, according to Ryan Braun, but he said he better get used to it. I've had to walk in his shoes ever since I walked in as well. Fastball, he beat him with it. Is there a defender, and is there room for that defender? Nope, it's about a row and a half, 2 rows back. By the way, a moment ago over in that section, we saw a great play made by a fan. We were sharing a story about Ryan Braun and all the power hitters. A great play was made. And I think we might need to give that fan a contract. Here it is. Yeah.
Oh, yes. That is contract worthy.
That's A-Rod making that play.
Oh, wow. Nice that he could come join us for the day.
Bouncing ball. A fastball, 95. Doug Gracie, he was looking for it. He got it.
And he's out.
A bunch of Brewers relievers will be going today. It starts with Chris Narveson. Let's take a look at the lineup that Chris, the Colorado native, will be facing, put together by A.J. Hinch. Southwest Airlines sponsors it. It has Roberts, Drew, and Upton. Mark Reynolds, Chris Young rolling a bit of late. Rusty Ryle, John Hester gets a chance to play today. Brandon Allen and Max Scherzer. We're not sure how long we'll see him. He has only thrown 40 pitches 4 times this year, but Christopher Greg Narveson goes to work. 27-year-old, primarily a reliever in the big leagues.
And he's going to get the start today against a bunch of right-handed hitters for the Diamondbacks, and Steve Reich won out of the gate.
Now, Narveson is no stranger. This is a guy that up until this season in the minor leagues, he was a starter, so he understands the mindset. As that one is fought off, buried that fastball in. But it's one thing if you're mentally ready. We'll see how far your arm will take you. When you're not stretched out and you've been working out of the bullpen 1-2 inning stints, it's tough to all of a sudden walk up there. As a matter of fact, it never happens and throw 7 innings.
Yeah, you're not going to go out there and throw 113 pitches.
If you do, you can enjoy the rest of your life in another profession. Leave that to the beer league guys on Sundays and ice their arm for a week. The 1-2 breaking ball, good pitch, hit on the ground. Alcides Escobar fires in time for the out. Speaking of Escobar, let's take a look at all the mates that work around the talented youngster. Braun, Cameron, Hart, outfield. McGee, a huge day yesterday. Escobar, Felipe Lopez, and Prince better at first this year. Mike Rivera gets to play about once a month because he backs up Jason Kendall.
Well, you got job security when you're the backup for Jason Kendall, because you really never have time to play yourself out of the spot.
That's exactly right. You saw Braun, Cameron, and Hart a moment ago. As that one is away. 1-0 the count. When Braun moved to left field, that left third base open, and in some ways it stayed open ever since. That one is high. 2-0 the count to Stevens. McGee is at third for now, but he's not the long-term answer. Bill Hall was the answer for a while. He's no longer a Brewer. He struggled mightily. Craig Counsell has played some. He's not the long-term answer. As that one is belted. Dying out there in right center field, and then dying in the glove of Mike Cameron, where so many other baseballs have come to see the end of their lives as well. He can cover some ground, even for an older fella now.
Well, don't tell those long, fast legs that Mike Cameron's getting old. He can still run them down as good as anybody in the game.
We heard from him on Friday night, had a chance to have a great conversation with him Friday afternoon, and then after the cameras went away, we talked for about another 20 minutes. Got a lot of wisdom about the game. As Justin Upton takes strike one. 24 home runs, 75 runs batted in, an on base of 375. Upton takes in 1-1 the count. 19 stolen bases for Justin as well. The 1-1 from Narveson. Fouls it back down below us. Was speaking with veteran Jason Kendall. We mentioned him a moment ago. Again, high praise for Justin. He said he's grown even since the last time we saw him. He said, and we talk about this a lot on the show, and if we have time, Gracie will explain it. He's letting the ball travel more than I've ever seen him do before. He's a much more well-rounded hitter, said Kendall. What does that mean?
Well, it just means when he's letting the ball travel, that means I think Justin's starting to understand that he doesn't have to pull the ball to drive in runs, to drive the baseball. He can drive it out of the ballpark to the right side, and he can drive it out to center field.
The 2-2 in. And when you let a ball travel, there's a good example, that pitch right there. If you commit early to that pitch, you swing and you break your bat.
You're done. Exactly.
To right field, off the end of the bat. An off-speed pitch. He'll be kicking himself about that one. Max Scherzer in the fireball, ready to go. Scherzer, power arm, and Prince Fielder, power bat. You know what else would be fun? The general manager visiting us in the booth, and you're going to help us ask a question. 36929. And we'll revisit it in a moment as the at-bat is underway. Fielder shoots it to left field, and there to make the play, screamer. Well, he went after him, and Prince was ready, but he's erased. Anyway, help us speak with the boss today, and we'll have you help us ask question number 1. Text to 36929, and he's looking at the monitor now, so he's going to get to do his homework. That's not really fair. But help us. The highest offseason priority, or the future at first and second, or the future in left field, or the latest on Webb. Whatever you pick, we will ask him first. We might ask all of them, but that will be the first one.
Well, the latest on Webb? He's hurt.
How about the contract? Maybe that's a better way to do it. Are you re-signing
him? He had shoulder surgery.
Well, that part, yes.
That's the latest. Okay, here we go.
That's not what they mean. Are you re-signing it? Think of his option.
Oh, I see. Like a much tougher question.
That's a little tougher than how's he doing? Well, he's doing nothing. What a night it was for Casey McGee yesterday. As a matter of fact, in this series, how about this? He is 7 for 9 with 2 homers, 7 RBIs. A couple of long balls yesterday. That was a slider, and he overthrew it. This is last night against Kevin Mulvey, who had a tough night. He was ready for that riding fastball in, and another one in. He was ready for both of them. Goodness, that's some distance. That's Mark Reynolds territory there. That pitch is low. 3-1 the count to Casey McGee. We all remember Garrett Jones, who waited forever to get to the big leagues with Pittsburgh. McGee is approaching fast. Now he is taking a strike, 3-2. Good dive.
He's got a nice, quick, short swing, compact. I like it.
Outside, he walked him. He'll be kicking himself for that. Not ready to catch up with his fastball, not yet. Let's take a look at the defense for the Diamondbacks. Roberts, Young, Upton, Reynolds, Drew. There's Rusty at second base.
Yes.
Brandon Allen.
Rusty again.
And Max Scherzer working with John Hester. There he is again. The Oklahoma boy getting a chance, getting the start today. He's had a few starts at first as well. Fastball is low, 1-0 the count. It's a John Hester day. I said to him this morning, he said, it is a John Hester day. I'm ready to go to work. Ready to scout, ready to get ready, do his homework. But there's another kind of John Hester day today.
It's like legitimately
right
John Hester day today, isn't it? It's his birthday, is that correct?
Yes, it is. Little birdie told us that it is his 26th birthday today, the Stanford product. Of course, AJ makes sure that we always mention Stanford when we mention John Hester.
Of course.
Just about tired of doing that.
Not about enough of that. Thank you.
There's a slider.
Well, Darren, you know what that calls for then, don't you?
Catcher number 11.
There's the pop-up. Hester did not catch that one, but he's about to catch some happy birthday here. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear John. Happy birthday to you. Nice. And also to you, sweetie.
Yeah, absolutely. 9th birthday. Happy 9th birthday. All right. We move on.
We're done.
That slider, by the way, different, I think, than the one he threw last time. A little bit harder, 86 miles an hour, and it didn't have the dive that we were used to.
It didn't, but it was just enough off speed to get him off the end of the bat, and no danger there.
Rivera takes over the inside corner. Mike at 233, a pair of homers, and 12 batted in. And as we mentioned, is a guy that doesn't play much. 34 games this season, 25 starts. Another breaking ball, a slide, belted, left field. Just missed that.
He got away with another cement mixer there.
Doesn't have to dive. We'll see how much he believes in it the rest of the game. Rivera, for some reason, didn't accept it.
Well, he did get a gift. It was a cement mixer of a slider, did nothing. And it was hit, and it was hit hard, but just enough off the end you can see, golly, I just missed it. And he did, to the middle of the warning track. Max will have to find a better grip or something with that slider. He threw a couple or three in that inning that weren't very good, man.
Breaking ball stays high, kind of a slinger across his body. Narvis in there, very deliberate. 1-0 the count. Mark Reynolds. That breaking ball again, the slider doesn't have the tilt, and it's not slowing down like he threw last time. And that's a strike. 1-1 the count. It's a difference, as we have explained to you, with regard to Max and being behind the ball or on the side of it a little bit. Naturally, you just hold your hand up. If you're on the side of a ball like a karate chop, that's going to have more of a tilt and more of a breaking ball effect. If you're behind it, closer to a fastball. 1-1 the count.
Good pitch there, didn't get it.
Narvis, drafted by the Cardinals, number 2 in 2000 out of high school in Asheville, North Carolina. We mentioned born in Colorado. The 2-1. Oh, 2-2 the count. The 2-2. Breaking ball bounces in there. Mark will hop out of the way. You know, earlier this year, Narvis, he was signed this a couple of winters ago, December 4th, 07, and the Brewers organization never made it to the big leagues for last season. Finally made it this year. Then when they set him down, they had to take him off the roster. Nobody grabbed him. Now he's back as he walks Mark Reynolds. Mark, I think the fear came out to play there for Narvis. He threw him some good pitches, then he just lost his guile.
Yeah, he just hung on to that one about 3 feet too long.
In the minor leagues, 177 starts. And a winner. I mean, 52 wins, a 3.89 ERA. This year in Nashville, he made 6 starts, 20 appearances overall. Controlled the game very well. Very few base runners to deal with. Here's Chris Young. Better things of late for Chris. Well, I'm not sure if you were to ask Chris what really, if anything, could erase the year that he's had. If you do finish strong, I would imagine your psyche better off. He's hit in 7 of his last 8 games. 11 hits during that time, so that's a 379 space. Bunts that one and bunts it foul. 0-1 to count.
Once again, Chris Young trying to push a bunt right there towards the first base side, Darren. And we've talked about it before with him. Pushing a bunt to the first base side, you've got a first baseman holding a runner on in Prince Fielder. If you bunt to the first baseman, it's going to be an easy force play. If you're bunting for a base hit in this situation, you want to go to third base.
Well, the conversation has come up a lot, and deservedly so, with regard to Young. And you and I have had it as he takes a pitch away. He went 0-2 the count. That we'd love to see Chris bunt more. I mean, especially when you're going through a streak like he did prior to this run, in which he was 3 for 44. You've got the speed to do it. But as you said, I think very accurately.
You want to do it when that first baseman's back and playing you back, not holding a runner on. He's too close to you. It'd be an easy out.
Wow, pretty good pitch. 1-2. It seems like the speed is there, but maybe not the skill set to bunt.
He was probably never asked to. He was always probably the power hitter on the team and the guy that could drive in the runs.
That's why I love it when he drives it in the gap. The 1-2. Chased high, good pitch. I mean, nearly struck him out a pitch ago, so Young goes down on strikes.
Just an elevated fastball above the belt and right by Chris Young.
Something about certain left-handers. Not right-handers of all things, but left-handers. We've seen Doug Davis do it, and he's got a little bit more in his fastball. That if they set it right, they can get a lot of chases up.
High swings. Well, that's a nice breaking ball for strike one.
That's a good start. I mean, if you're able to do that, there's where you're going to get your chases up, because essentially, if you think about it, the breaking ball comes out of that same slot as the high fastball. Narveson pitched a bit in the big leagues with St. Louis, just 5 appearances back in 2006. As he keeps an eye on Mark Reynolds. Rusty, a couple of at-bats in this homestand. He is 0 for 2, hitless in his last 6 games. It's an 0 for 8 clip. They've got him picked off. Fielder throws high. Lopez can't catch the ball. So Mark Reynolds.
That'll go as a stolen base.
That's 23 on the year to go with his 41 home runs. Exactly right, Gracie.
He's running on the pitch. Prince, a poor throw to second, and then Felipe not really willing to hang in there and make the tag. So Mark Reynolds will get credited with a stolen base.
We saw Brandon Allen on Friday night with an incredible throw across the diamond, showing a good, solid arm, accurate. I think a lot of times first basemen that have a good arm are taken for granted. Good swing and a miss. And as a first baseman, I think you can tell me maybe not discussed enough how important the arm of the first baseman is.
Well, that's the advantage of having a left-handed first baseman right there. You can just come and make the quick throw. You don't have to turn your entire body around to throw to second base right there. But yeah, it's important to have, you need somebody that can get rid of the ball quickly and throw it accurately to second base and get those really what should be easy outs, Darren.
Let's take a look at this play, because this goes back to the other night, and I bring it back for you to see, basically. Trying to grab an extra base.
Good stuff.
No doubter, huh?
Good stuff.
Hart had the right idea. I mean,
yeah.
Thought he'd take advantage of the youngster. Brandon was ready.
Didn't realize the kid's got a cannon.
1-2 the count. And get ready for first base defense love now for a couple of innings.
Well, that's true.
The 1-2. Well, that's a good pitch. 2-2. It's a nice take as well. You take that arm, according to Gracie, and put that young man in the outfield. Not as good. He's an athlete at first base.
He's a much better athlete as a first baseman. You know that. And much more of a leader.
That guy's a leader in his own way.
Well, he hits homers.
Follow me.
And he drives in 117 runs. That's how he leads.
A long time getting together, Narvis, and trying to get a pitch to deal with. The 2-2. Just off the plate. 3-2 the count to Rusty Rod. AAA Reno this year, 290, 33 doubles, and 17 homers. He did that work in 103 games. And he really torched left-handed pitching down in AAA this year. Love to strike first here. All right, Mr. Narvis.
I'd like Mr. Narvison to maybe throw the baseball. What do you think? All right, come on, young man. There we go. There we go. Right to the plate. See, that wasn't so hard.
Yeah, that's fouled back behind. Oh, my goodness, a terrible play over there by Steve Gilbert.
Was that Steve Gilbert dropping it again?
Writer for MLB.com. Goodness gracious.
I'll tell you what, he has been brick-handed all year, hadn't he?
Leave Gilbert alone.
There it is. He's a great writer. I mean, he's breaking stories and getting to know the players. You're getting to know him online. But he just can't play defense.
Terrible hands. Okay, guy.
Usually, it's that man booting the ball.
That's true.
I mean, usually it's him. Again, a great person at his job. Great director of media relations. His staff loves him. We love working with him, but he's a terrible defender. The 3-2. Breaking ball, that's hot. I guess the question is, as Hester gets a chance to hit, which one's worse? We love them both. They're both great at their jobs.
Great guys, great at their jobs, but somehow, someway, we got to get them.
I mean, they
some kind of defense lessons.
Remember those old skillets that Grandma used to cook?
Sure.
Big iron skillets.
Yeah.
That's the kind of gloves they had. That's the kind of paws they had. Princess was a bit like that when he first broke in. It's gotten better. He used to have a skillet out there. Hester off the end of the bat. He saw it good, but it dove down and away, so he is erased. Anytime the D-backs score 6 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with a purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the next day.
Baseman number 25.
One Stanford catcher retired while another one looks on. Well, here's the aforementioned Brandon Allen. And with all the love Gracie's been sending out on that fine throw from a couple of nights ago, big things could happen.
Well, just showing such leadership as well as all the talent.
His skipper had some kind words about him as he looked ahead to next year. Connor Jackson would imagine if he is healthy, he's an outfielder as that breaking ball is outside. Boy, nice take from a left-handed hitter against a lefty there. It's got to be a tempting pitch to offer him. Young man, the Texan, getting to know his surroundings here in Arizona. Was a White Sox. Tony Pena was sent to Chicago. Allen sent back. Brandon just 1 for 12 against left-handed pitching this year. High. Strike.
Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's one of the higher strikes you'll ever see called right there. What do you think? That's nowhere near a strike. See what the pitching is. All the advantages are with the pitcher. You know, just get it in the area code now. It's a strike. This game is just.
And you know me. I'm
so in favor of the pitchers now. It just kills the hitter.
I'm very pro pitcher. You know that. But that was a ball. I don't care if a Diamondback throws it. The 3-1.
That was not a strike.
Nice at bat. We're talking about the words of A.J. Hinch, and it's our Geico quote. He has all the makings of an everyday first baseman. Next spring will be the first time he's going to have the opportunity to make a big league team. He's well worthy of that opportunity. Well, it's not only make the team. I would imagine if that man makes the team, he's the starting first baseman.
I don't think there's any question. He's either going to be, wherever he goes, whether it's here or whether it's in AAA, he's going to be the everyday first baseman.
That was a great shot while we were speaking of him. He talking to Low Bundy, held his hand above the Diamondback on his chest. Saying that's where that pitch was.
It was up. Well, Max Scherzer, an opportunity to help himself. A couple of walks in this inning. Well, 3 walks in this inning.
Well, you get to that point, and you've educated me on this. The attitude needs to be, even if you're Max, he can hit a little bit. Make this guy pay. Breaking ball. That's a strike and a good pitch. I will tell you this, Max in the middle, Gracie, of a 3-game hitting streak.
0-2 on Max. Narveson out of the windup, is going to deal.
Wild ball. McGee plays it off to his left after that denial play-by-play by my broadcast partner. Scherzer nearly shot the hole and drove in a pair. By triple hops brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Helping to bring you Diamondbacks baseball today, taking a walk through the concourse. As we move along, Max Scherzer raced on a ground out. The headband working today. I like that. He's all geared up. Alcides Escobar. A very talented young prospect. As a matter of fact, the top prospect for this Brewers organization. And he gets to know a high fastball.
Got him a little bow tie for his efforts, didn't he?
A little spin and a stare out there to Max Scherzer, and Max doubles up on him.
No, Max not going to go anywhere. He'll just stay right on that mound. He ain't scared.
No. Now that one better. That was a slider that had better tilt to it. Down. Escobar, as we talked about his talent, the work he did down in AAA, ran wild on the base pads. 298, 42 stolen bases. Baseball America said #1 prospect, and he fouls that one off. And it is this young man that has displaced Arizona native and Sabino High School Tucson product J.J. Hardy. The 1-2. That pitch is in.
J.J. having trouble finding some playing time, isn't he?
Well, earlier this year he was sent down to the minor leagues when he was scuffling. And having a tough year offensively. The 2-2. Slider, another one, and a better one. That one had good downward tilt. But when he was sent down, when he finally made his way back up, You see the tough year he's having, though. The homers and RBIs not tragic for a shortstop who missed a bunch of time. Popped up to the right side. Long run for Justin Upton. He gets hit. Nice play. Part of the frustration for Hardy, I think, came in, and he didn't do as much talking as just those that cover the team do.
Right.
Instead of bringing him back up when he started hitting and was ready to come back, they kept him down the amount of time that hurt his service time, and that keeps him under control. And not a real good way, I think players would say, to reward a guy that was your all-star a couple of years ago.
Not very well said. Welcome to the business world of baseball. That's the tough part of it.
The 1-0 is a strike. 1-1 the count to Narveson. Jason Kendall told me before the game, and he's pretty well traveled. Pittsburgh, played with the Jay Bell when he broke in. Jack Wilson, Oakland, Bobby Crosby. That one is swung right through. Certainly has bounced around, sees some pretty good shortstops. He said about J.J. Hardy, he's the best shortstop I've ever played with. Hasn't seen enough of Escobar to weigh in.
That is
Fair
a
enough.
Very big statement.
And you have to exclude Escobar, Gracie, because he's like you. You're a show me guy. I have to watch you for a while before I see it. The 2-2.
You're saying you're from Missouri?
Not from Missouri. You veterans
are going to have to
that,
show
though.
me, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, I've heard a lot about you. I've seen your statistics. I've heard the stories. I've seen the pictures. But now I need to see it day in and day out for at least a month or two. Because that was sliced foul.
And so we'll see. We'll see where J.J. Hardy plays next year. It might serve J.J. best to be playing somewhere else. Outside corner, that's strike 3. Congratulations to D-back season ticket holder Bill Austin, Norma Coulter. Yesterday, Bill won a 30-minute fielding session out in center field with Chris Young. And Norma won a kids game experience, which includes a chance to announce play ball and join the T-shirt toss with the Rallybacks. Renew your season tickets for 2010, and you too could be the next winner. Changeup is away. For a complete list of prizes and winners, visit tbacks.com/STH. Fastball later. Base hit for Felipe Lopez. You won't hold him down for long. We have known that. We saw it all the first part of the season. He's a lot of things, Gracie, and he can frustrate you at times with his apparent lack of hustle, but he can hit.
I'm a fan.
He can hit. And he's a good teammate.
I think Felipe Lopez is a very good teammate. I think he's accountable. And he comes to play every day. He puts in the work. Yeah, sometimes he might look like he's not trying, but trust me, he is.
He certainly got a way about him. 0-1 the count. But there were, on occasion, other ball players throughout this or other seasons that had much less of a positive impact. Felipe Lopez did. Diving play by Ryan Roberts. He took a Roberts route to that baseball, but in the end, he was able to haul it in. Skip, I'll play anywhere you want me to on the diamond. How about left field? Here we go. Upstairs here at Futures Field, you know what it's time to do. It's time to learn. Welcome back to D-Back to Basics. Camp guy, you know him, Jeff Roden. My name is Darren Sutton. Hot corner guy, Matt Williams joins us. This is great. Now, Matty, we know there's more than one way to skin a cat. Yep. There's also about 3 ways you want to talk about to catch a baseball and keep your eye on the baseball.
Yeah, that's the most important thing. The most important thing in playing the game is to be able to see the baseball. If I was to throw you a baseball, Darren, and you closed your eyes, you couldn't catch it. So that is the most important thing. A few basic principles apply. So, Jeff, you want to throw me a ball?
All right.
All right. Just a basic playing catch with your buddy or your dad in the backyard or whoever it is, you have to be able to see the baseball. So there's some principles behind it. One, you need to be able to see the baseball out in front of you. Keep your head behind the baseball. Jeff will throw me a baseball, and I'll be able to catch the ball out in front of me. What do? My eyes stay on it. I'm able to see the ball all the way into my glove. If I don't do that, and I let the ball travel back here, I lose sight of it. Okay? That's where you make your errors. Same with a ground ball. A ground ball to the infield or a ground ball to the outfield is the same ground ball. All you want to do is make sure that your eyes and your head stay behind your glove when you go to catch it. Okay? If the ball is coming at you and you're able to keep your eye on the baseball, you'll catch it more times than not. If you don't do that and your head gets in front of your glove, you lose sight of it. That's the second key. Third key is please do not be afraid to catch the ball with one hand. Fundamentals are great, but if you catch the ball with one hand, in practice, you'll be better attuned in doing it in the game. If you have to go to your left, you need to catch the ball with one hand. If you have to go to your right, you need to be able to catch the ball with one hand. Again, basic, simple things. Make sure one hand, grounder, or just playing catch, always keep your head behind the glove and keep your eye on the ball.
Matt Williams, very good
simple
stuff. D-Back to Basics, always fun on a Sunday. Don't forget, every Sunday we do it, you just learn. Are you interested in improving your baseball and softball skills? Well, then contact the D-Backs Training Centers at dbacks.com/camps or call 1-800-821-7152. Matt Williams, Ryan Roberts.
That was a little long-winded there, wasn't he?
Yeah, that's my fault. I should have been shorter in getting to him. Roberts made a fabulous play that we wanted to keep talking about. He is erased there. One more time, the great play by Ryan Roberts.
Saving a run, making a nice play.
There it is. That just came across.
That'll probably be on a baseball card next year.
So now Stephen Drew fly to center field back in the first inning. 1-0 the count. Stephen at an even 260. Takes the inside corner, the high strike zone in play today, no doubt about that. Rolling a 5-game hitting streak is Drew, 7 hits in that time, hitting .350 during that clip. He's even hoping to finish strong. Inside, this is a guy that plays the position of shortstop, but I think does so, Gracie, with pretty high offensive expectations.
I think so. I think he was drafted certainly not to be a slick fielding shortstop. He was drafted in the first round to be a hammer in the middle of a lineup.
Jam there, good pitch. Hart puts that one to bed. So there are 2 outs. This guy was drafted to be the hammer in the middle of the lineup as he strides towards home plate. And he's getting there quickly. Talking about Justin Upton.
You know, like Stephen Drew right there. I mean, he got a fastball right down the middle, something he could handle, and just didn't do anything with it. Diamondbacks have certainly struggled in this series, offensively and pitching wise, defensively. And so far, they're hitless against a fellow named Narveson.
Second major league start for Narveson. Had a start a couple of years back for the Cardinals. Made his major league debut as a Cardinal here. Chase Field. .49 pitches now.
I mean, he's left-handed and he pitches for the Brewers, but I mean, he's not Warren Spahn.
No. That one is low. He's not Teddy Higuera.
No, he
not
was a
Mike
good lefty.
Caldwell. Not even CC Sabathia.
He had a good run with the Brewers. Certainly no Brian Clutterbuck.
Good call.
Thank you.
Bless you, by the way. 2-1 the count. to get it going in here. What's going on? The 2-1. Come on, Gracie.
Come on, Dan.
Goodness.
I come back, missed a couple of days, and you're all quiet on me today. What's the matter with you?
I'm not alone.
Yeah, we need the folks to get a little excited about something in here. Come on, folks. Hello?
The 3-1.
Oh, here it comes.
Ah, good try. Down below. Full count, 2 outs. Here we go. Justin's going to hit one into Fridays. He tried.
He tried. He was a little tardy on that one.
Upton just 3 for 17 on this homestand. He does have a homer. 3 runs batted in. Breaking ball. Goodness, what a pitch.
Arvidsson. Still hitless.
Maybe it is CC Sabathia. Locked up in what Gracie likes to call a pillow fight.
This is a legit one today.
You're going to love this Aflac trivia question, Mark Grace.
Really, am I now? Good.
Name the 4 Brewers to have their numbers retired. It's a Midwestern style question.
Good one. Chris Bosio. That's some good years for the Brewers.
No.
I know one has to be, and that's Robin Yount. Well,
Change up and a dandy. 1-1 the count. Was that ding for the change up that was a good one for the answer? Just a little late coming.
It's pretty well said, Darren.
Number 19, by the way.
Yeah, number 19, Robin Yount, retired.
The 1-1. Another change up. It's interesting. A change up righty on righty from Scherzer. Doesn't throw him a lot. Ryan was telling me before the game when I asked him, do you get used to pitchers kind of reinventing themselves when they face you? He said, I do. I do.
Probably, yeah.
I see things that aren't as much in the scouting report. Fastball, showed it to him there. I mean, we see a guy like Albert Pujols, and we look back a couple of years back when Brandon Webb faced him in a single at bat, and you'll remember it, Grace. You threw him about 5 changeups in a row.
Right, I remember
Would
that.
never do that to another hitter. LeBron's starting to get that kind of treatment.
Sure.
It's low. 2-2 the count. Missed his spot, but got the call.
Oh, my goodness. Eric Cooper's got a pretty big zone today, and that time Max Scherzer was the recipient.
First baseman.
Might have still gotten the plate, even though, like you said, Hester sitting way inside, got it on the outside corner. You can see Ryan Braun. My goodness.
Now the other part of that discussion, whether it goes this way or not, usually really great hitters, that one's not called a strike. Here's Prince Fielder. Just got a text from my good friend Matt Williams with regard to the trivia question.
Ah, who's his guess?
That's a good one. He just put the phone back in his pocket.
Did he talk with his mouth full?
No. He didn't. In the text, it was clean. He wanted to guess the guy who stepped in for Gorman Thomas back in 1982, played some defensive center field for Milwaukee. Did a great job as that one is missing outside as Milwaukee went on to play all the way to the World Series. He wanted to guess Marshall Edwards.
I remember Marshall Edwards. He was a fine man, but no, he doesn't have his. So, Matt, that was a terrible guess. Terrible guess.
That quickly word gets to him that we have responded to the text that he has sent us. He was looking up here for our response because he actually really truly just sent that text. 3-2 the count.
And his lovely wife Erica.
Prince gives it a ride. Mr. Fielder, did he just get it? Going back is Roberts. He just got it. Home run number 39 for Fielder. 126 RBIs. He's been stuck for a while. That ties the franchise record for runs batted in a single season, tying Cecil Cooper, who did it back in 1983.
So he fell behind with a bunch of off-speed pitches, Darren. Once he fell behind, then he became a fastball pitcher. And he showed him one too many, and Fielder just so strong, able to hit it out to left field.
Casey McGee. We talked about Fielder coming on the air today. We heard from Prince speaking about his maturation, and he said, and he told all of you as well, there are certain pitches I just don't swing at anymore because I can't do anything with them. He knew what to do with this.
Up and out over and just swatted it the other way like the big strong man he is. There's a changeup and a beauty.
Coop had 126 runs batted in 1983. Fielder reaches that mark this year. A couple of years ago, Richie Sexton had 125 RBIs. He's on that list as well. A 1-2. Popped up. Who knows where he's headed in the future, Prince Fielder, but for now he is a cornerstone member of this franchise.
And there's those 4 retired uniforms right there. Cooper, Fielder, Burnitz, and Sexton. Good stuff.
Could we please get responses to all of those guesses? 4 guesses.
Wow.
All right.
That was the biggest buzz that I've ever gotten. Well, at the ballpark.
I knew you'd finish that sentence as that one is fouled off. 1-2 the count to Casey. McGee is in the running, certainly in that rookie of the year discussion. He leads all rookies in runs batted in. Edged past Gerardo Parra yesterday with a huge slider. Better pitch there. Good downward tilt. 2-2 the count. Still harder than it was last time out, though. Had a 4-hit game as well. Change up, fouls that one off. A run on 2 hits and no errors for the Brewers. For the Diamondbacks, nothing. And they have stranded 3 because there were 3 walks, but they don't have a hit. Good pitch, but a nice survival swing by McGee.
The Diamondbacks are busy getting handcuffed by Narveson. Chris Narveson.
The 2-2. Casey, fly ball, long run. Justin Atkins still going to the corner. Runs out of room. Disappears from picture. Well, stick with us, folks, because we have a great key to the game.
Good.
And it ties into the sentence a moment ago. Please don't go back there. The sentence a moment ago that you just uttered. So, folks at home, Gracie just about took us to our key to the game, which we'll unveil next inning.
Narveson? I like it.
I can't comment.
Good
at
key
this
to the
point.
game.
No, well, I can't comment. Change up ground ball. Mark Reynolds shuffles those feet. Matt Williams proud of that. And in time for the out. Walk us through again the pitch by pitch to Prince Fielder.
Prince Fielder really fell behind with a bunch of off-speed pitches. There's a missed fastball. Then we miss with an off-speed pitch. And we miss. Everything away, away, away. Now, strike one. Strike two. Oh, dear. 3 straight pitches in the same spot, Darren. You give a dangerous hitter like that 3 straight looks at the same pitch. Never came inside on Big Prince. Let him get those big arms extended, and that's what happens when you allow that.
Yeah, he will use the entire ballpark. Always has. Doesn't mean he can't pull the ball with some authority. As Corey Hart fouls it off. For Max, with regard to the long ball, that's 18 home runs allowed this year. It's not a disturbing number at all for a guy who's a strike thrower and a fastball pitcher. 1-2 the count to Corey Hart. Hart had a scare and an appendectomy, an emergency appendectomy in early August. Missed quite a bit of time on the disabled list. He was in San Diego at the time, had to stay there. The 2-2. Bouncing ball to short. Steven Drew charges off balance throw in time for the out. Well, there are sluggers who have done it for a while and done it very well. Matt Williams makes it clear. I'll let you know when you get to the spot I'm in. Numbers retired as Mark Reynolds gets ready to hit. And takes a curveball that is high. Of course, a good question. We knew the answer, but we hope you got Aaron, Fingers, Molitor, and Yount. Our Aflac trivia question.
Good question today.
The 1-0. Shot. Down the line it goes. It's extra Extra bases for Mark Reynolds. Racing on around. Maybe it's time to cash in. Maybe get this young man. We will see. By the way, if an E-back homer this inning hits the Gila River Casino's hit and win sign here in the fourth, a lucky fan watching wins $710,000. Sean Weiser, you're our contestant. Visit dbacks.com/hit-and-win.
Well, nobody hits the D-backs, Darren. So Mark Reynolds is just a matter of time before that got broken up.
Well, it's actually happened a couple of times.
Oh, it has?
Yeah.
Well, not this year.
Narveson goes back to work. Kind of ties into what I think is a pretty good key to the game. We'll have a chance to get to it in a moment. You teed it up a moment ago. And with your baseball wisdom, your history in this game, I think you're ready for it because you're the one who founded it with your preview to the game. Our key to the game is a fabulous one. We love bringing you the key to the game every day. It's always a point of discussion. I'll take a pitcher. I'll take a pitcher.
Not a belly hitcher?
That's exactly right. So
that's it?
That's the key to the game. So you tell me what. You know, I know that you kind of founded this key. You were leading us down the right path a moment ago.
Well, if you think about it, I'm almost certain this is what it's got to be about. You know, the Brewers are in town. Of course, Brewers are the makers of, well, of course, beer. And I would imagine when you go to Milwaukee or when you're hosting somebody from Milwaukee, you take them to someplace. It certainly might have some of the Milwaukee's favorites, and you get a picture of it. So I'll take a picture for my friends from Milwaukee, and that's a good key to the game, Darren. And I like that. It's nice to be good, gracious host.
I thought you were on the right path. As that one swung right through, the runner will move up to third. 0-2 the count. Foul ball?
Yes.
All right, foul ball, good call. But not a good call in the key to the game. You were not on the right path at all.
No?
Oh, you bet. You bet they're from Milwaukee. And you bet they brew beer there. Worldwide famous.
Well, sure.
And you bet there's a pub on every corner. And only in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, can you have a frog turn into Prince.
Oh, I like that.
Only in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You got it. That's exactly right. But that's not it at all.
That's not it? It's not a pitcher of beer?
Oh, I'll take a pitcher, says Milwaukee. The kind that throws on the bump in the middle of the diamond. As a matter of fact, fans this winter were hollering out, we'll take a pitcher. We need one heading into the season.
I got you. That makes sense now.
At the trading deadline, fans were crying, 3 million strong this year. I'll take a pitcher. We need one.
Yeah, they needed one. Really, they didn't get much pitching at all in the offseason. Giovanni Gallardo has had a terrific year, but as far as starting pitching goes, the Brewers have fallen short this year.
So let me take the key to the game to its end, to its conclusion.
Okay.
Because you need a pitcher, and you're the Brewers, as that one is high as in. So much so that you're starting a relief pitcher who has not started but once in the major leagues. I'll take a pitcher is the cry down there. In the other dugout, a team that says that, you've got to take advantage. You have got to take advantage.
If you're the Diamondbacks, you certainly take advantage of this situation. You've gotten throttled the first 2 games here. Now they're running a reliever out there. Boy, very fortunate as Chris Young that wasn't called strike 3. It looked like Eric Cooper may have even flinched. We've seen the high strike today, Darren, but not that time. So very fortunate as Chris Young. Trying to somehow, some way move Mark Reynolds along.
Well, that's the job there after a leadoff double. Get him to third, worst case scenario. Fouled it back.
Boy, he got one right down the middle. Narveson trying to come inside. Left it right in the middle of the plate. Chris Young couldn't make him pay. Oh, dear, Darren. Boy, nightmares about that one.
Three and 2 the count. Now,
well, that's a balk, isn't it?
It sure looked like it.
He didn't step towards second base there.
He didn't come all the way around at all. Stopped about halfway. 3 and 2. You can spin. You don't.
But you have to step towards the
Exactly
occupied
right.
base, right? You can't step towards an unoccupied base. Was that towards second enough? I guess it was.
Very
The umpires
close.
are concerned.
Very close. Reaches out, fouls that one off. Now,
Good job there by Young that time to fight off a tough one.
if you happen to go out there and beat the team that has been crying from the mountaintops all year long, I'll take a picture. Then, at the end of the day, if you're wearing red, then you can sit back and say, all right, now I'll take a picture. A different kind.
Gotcha.
So we make that clear. So we will reward you, Gracie, with your thought
Well,
process.
thank you. Well, I just thought, talking about hosting a fine person from Milwaukee.
In on the hands, rolling up the line. A little Midwest hospitality, you're
Sure.
saying?
My friends from Milwaukee business, and there's a lot of transplanted Midwesterners out here. Take them out for a pitcher.
Absolutely.
They need a starter.
He'd much rather have a guy that can throw 92 with a great slider than a pitcher of Milwaukee's finest. 3-2 the count, which means you got to beat him.
Exactly. Well, he got another one right down the middle. Took the swing he wanted to take, but just couldn't get it done. Oh, look at this one. Oh, boy.
Boy, and when you start a reliever and he is pitching shutout baseball into the fourth, you're thrilled if you're Ken Maka.
Doggone right you are.
You're planning on everybody throwing. They're warming in the pen now. Mark DeFelice says. Chris Young drives in left field. Going back is Brown. To the wall, it's gone. The solid September continues for Chris Young. He missed a couple of pitches he will tell you he should have hit, but on the 11th pitch of the at-bat, he hits his 13th long ball of the year.
And just as Prince Fielder did in the top of the inning, Chris Young just saw too many pitches in the same area at the same speed. And eventually, the power hitters are going to get you, and that's what happened there with Chris Young. High fastball, and he hammers it about 10 rows deep. I'll take a pitcher.
Is the cry from the Brewers dugout. 2-1 the score. Ryle into left field. Brown going back. He won't get there. Rusty hustling on around. In there with the slide. There's Rusty at second base with the double.
The very next pitch, Narveson throws. Bang! Another rocket off the bat of a right-handed hitter. This time it stays in the park. Ryan Braun did all he could, but it got over his head. The Diamondbacks looking to have a big inning now.
Well, Ken Maka, you talk about a pitcher that had not gone over 50 pitches this year, only into the 40s. His pitcher sitting at 68. Maka trying as hard as he could to get a little bit more out of the left-hander. Well, now the call to the bullpen has been made, and as far as Chris Narveson goes, clearly, he says, I'll take a pitcher.
He's good.
Oh, no, it's not. gone through, but in his last 9 games now has 12 hits, 6 of them home runs.
Yeah, it's certainly improving, Darren. I don't think Chris Young will ever tell you he's back completely, but it has certainly been a much better last couple of weeks for Chris Young. Not only squaring balls up, but they're leaving the ballpark.
That pitch is away. 1-0 the count to John Hester. We talked a little bit on Friday night as you see the numbers for Mark DeFelice on for the 59th time this year.
The human slider machine.
Those a lot of them. There it is. 1-1 the count. With regard to Chris, we were speaking Friday night about what Mike Cameron went through in 1998 at 25 years old. Now, by no means is it a roadmap, as that one is shot in the left field. It's a base hit. They stop the run. Good to see for John Hester on his birthday. Picks up a base hit. 5 hits now in the big leagues.
He just stayed on a slider nicely and just ripped it out in the left field. Unfortunately, he hit it right at Ryan Braun. There's that slider, did nothing. And that's what you're supposed to do with those, Darren. Just bang them into left field. One hop, no chance for Ryle to score, but Diamondbacks looking to have a big, big inning now.
Popped up, right side. Prince Fielder back to the infield. He is there. And a bluff is all he can do. And so Prince trots back in and empty out. Kills you because of the man who's hitting next as well.
Now Max Scherzer going to be asked. It's a lot to ask. Brandon Allen got a slider right in the middle of the plate. A good one to hit. Just popped it up. Take a look for yourself. I mean, that is just center cut right there to hit. Just skied it foul and an easy out.
So let's see if Max can pick up his first baseman. Just keep it off the ground. That one is away. We'll hold off, by the way. We started down a road, and I know if you watched Friday night when we discussed what was a bump in the road for Mike Cameron. It's either a bump in the road this year for Chris Young or it's the Grand Canyon. It could be either one. We know that, but we'll hold off on that subject. It might be good for Josh Burns to speak about. So we know what you've been voting for, but we'll also have Josh weigh in as well. 1-0 the count. 2-1 the score. Diamondbacks lead it. All right.
You ready? I'm ready.
The 1-0.
Oh boy, Max got one right down the middle to hit. He took a big rip at it and came up empty.
Now you say it about Max, and I would too, because you expect not for Max to hit like Ryan Braun or to hit like a regular everyday player. Before a pitcher, he handles himself all right.
Max is a pretty good athlete. He's a pretty good baseball athlete. He runs the bases with some decent speed. Knows what he's doing in the batter's box.
DeFelice will get a new baseball. 1-1 the count. Get ready to throw a slider with it, I would imagine.
He throws a lot of them.
Last 19 appearances, he has been knocked around. His ERA is nearly 10. The 1-1 outside. His ERA 19 appearances ago was 1.64. It's still respectable at 3.68. The 13 innings and the 14 earned runs last handful of times out have really hurt that earned run average. The 2-1. 2-2. Max grounded out to third back in the second inning. Got 3 runs batted in this year. Has struck out 17 times in 49, making 50 at bats. outside.
Max putting an at-bat on him. Oh, do you send the runner here, Darren? I do not.
Ooh, boy, catcher in that situation, no.
I do not. Trying to stay out of the double play. You got a guy that throws a lot of sliders. So I would say no, but you never know. It is September.
Outside.
All four. Nicely done by
How about
Max.
that? A nice job there by Max Scherzer. And that'll make Ken Maka really comfortable when that occurs.
Yeah, that's really inexcusable right there if you're Mark DeFelice. I mean, you get a big pop-up off of Brandon Allen's bat.
Now there may be something wrong. Rivera went out.
Well, maybe there is. Maybe it is excusable then because he may have hurt himself on that last pitch.
Training staff gets to work for the Brewers. Ken Maka comes out. He's got his lineup card with him. That's never a good thing.
And this is the last thing you need to see here in the last couple of weeks of the season. Kid's been pitching well all year, and he's pointing at the back of his shoulder. That's the rotator cuff, folks. That's the rotator cuff. And you just hope. Ow. Yeah, you can see he's aggravated a little bit there. Now you just want what's best for him. You just hope maybe he just strained a little something in there and it's not any more than that.
Dan Wright, part of that training staff, good man, makes his home in the Valley. And Dan continues to check on his pitcher. Ken Maka has said, give me somebody out of that bullpen. As a matter of fact, he has brought back our key to the game.
I'll take a pitcher.
He'll take a pitcher. Any pitcher. Somebody, and that's unfortunate. You don't like that at all for DeFelice. Let's hope that he's all right. 2-1 the score. I'll take a pitcher, please. Smith has a while to warm up. As a matter of fact, he has as long as he needs. This catcher hasn't even got down behind home plate. So we'll take care of some business. Throw it right here. Throw it right here, Mr. Smith. Visit the official online shop of the Arizona Diamondbacks at dbacks.com/shop. T-shirts, jerseys, collectibles, and more. Get your team gear straight from the source. And, of course, visit dbacks.com. Hey, here's a quick curveball for the guys in the truck. Kids, if you look like a pro outfielder, then you might want to pick up your Connor Jackson replica jersey T-shirt. And I know I love to. It's going to be a great thing. The first 5,000 kids to the game next Sunday will get one. And it's September 20th. 602-514-8400. And you look like Connor. But if you'd rather be an umpire, I mean, if you think that that is something you'd like to do,
sure.
Don't forget about what a great deal it is. Umpire Camp. It's November 8th through the 15th. Compton, California, just hop on and make the big visit at the Youth Academy, by the way, www.mlbuc.com. Major League supervisors, former big league umps for over 200 years and combined experience. So a lot of good stuff going on as we take care of some business. That man trying to get to business very soon. You know what? It's a Sunday. Got a quick teaching tip for you. It's a perfect time. Camp guy, listen up. Take it away.
Hey, catching pop-ups, we see a lot of kids that want to catch it out in front of them like this, a basket style. But we can't track it with our eyes. We want to catch it above our head so we can see the ball and the glove and make that play. A great way to practice that is go in the backyard, pop it up, catch with 2 hands above the head. That's your D-Back to Basics tip of the day.
So a lot of good fun around the ballpark. Smith still warming up, just threw a slider to the backstop, so not as comfortable as he'd like to be.
Not quite ready.
Max has been bringing the heat. I want to remind all of you, too, coming up at some point next year, and it's going to be a lot of fun, the Racing Gracies.
Well, no.
It's going to be in between one of the innings at some point, whether it's weekly, we're not sure, but the Racing Gracies. We saw the Mike Krukow and Dwayne Piper, the giant heads, and it got folks together. The idea was
lit
born.
Your light bulb, didn't it? Well, I want to thank all the people that have been twittering, sending emails to D-Back's booth that are just dead set against it. And I want to thank all you people for really letting your voices be heard.
So that'll be next year. Well, you think we bought enough time? Smith is ready to go. And he will face Ryan Roberts with the bases loaded. Not bad work at all for the right-hander, the former Boston Red Sox farmhand. Signed this past winter by Milwaukee, the day after Christmas. And that one is chopped and it is foul.
Big change up there from Smith, first pitch. Ryan Roberts, opportunity to really make it a big inning here. Bases loaded, only 1 out. I would imagine Smith thinking, telling Ken Maka, well, you brought me in for this, huh? Bases loaded.
You see the timely hitting that has started to stack up for Roberts. Hit on the ground, Escobar. They get one, but turn a double play. Alcides Escobar made it easy on the front end. The young, talented shortstop. And Roberts will be kicking himself for quite some time. ask the first question to Executive Vice President and General Manager Josh Burns. And you want to know, as we welcome Josh to the booth, first of all, thanks for coming up with us. We appreciate it, my friend. Good to have you here. The fans at home want to know two parts. Number one, what's the very latest physically on Brandon Webb, and what's the latest on the future, I guess, contractually on Brandon Webb as well. That's what the fans wanted to know. I knew you took a peek over there. We said you might have been cheating, peeking at the monitor. So what is the latest for the fans?
Well, he's progressing well. The surgery appeared to go well. He feels good. You know, I think this season, as with any other, a player's healthy when he's ready to play in a game. So at this point, it's all progress towards that goal. And you know, before we get to the decision on his contract, if he's throwing, it won't be much at all. So we're going to have to take an educated guess based on how we're reading his medical situation. And as I've said, he's earned a little bit of benefit of the doubt, given what he's done for our franchise. So right now we're optimistic. He'll be healthy. He'll be a Diamondback, and it'll be a good decision for us.
I would say he has earned the benefit of the doubt as a boss, as an architect, as we see that bat being passed around. I would imagine you don't allow yourself very often to have the thoughts of, boy, what if? I mean, I know as a GM you can't, but you think about the beginnings of the struggles of this team, and it comes with not being able to hand the ball to a 20-game winner every fifth day.
Yeah, you know, it's I kick myself a lot because I think injuries happen. Some teams are able to overcome them. I think you overcome them with depth. In 07, we had plenty of injuries. We overcame them. Randy Johnson went down, guys stepped in. Orlando Hudson went down, guys stepped in. I think good teams do that, and we just have. It's hard to replace Brandon Webb, and you know the amount of injuries we've had this year. We've essentially had about half of our payroll on the sidelines most of the year. So it's hard, but again, it's sort of my job to give us a plan B if plan A doesn't work out.
Some of the good things and some of the things you were disappointed in this year.
You know, it's funny. I think the good things, we have a good core of players. We have some good individual performance. I think our ability to put that together as a team and win games, win some ugly games, avoid prolonged slumps. We were just talking about the previous inning. That should have been more than 2 runs.
Right.
You know, the ingredients of winning, putting the pieces together to win. And, you know, with this cast that had the success in 07 and the start in 08 and showed that, they seem to have forgotten that. And we need to get back to where I think our talent probably won't be top third in Major League Baseball. It shouldn't be bottom third. There is some parity. I think the teams that win are the teams that execute. That's a big word Kurt Gibson uses a lot. Right. And we haven't executed enough this year.
It's interesting when you have these two teams come together, and I cornered him the other day in the other dugout, and that's center fielder Mike Cameron. And as started to play a little bit with the numbers and look at the research, getting prepared for this series, you saw that Mike Cameron at 25 years old fell into a hole, and a lot of people wondered if he'd get out of it. Well, he did, and then you start thinking about this guy at 25 years old, the guy you see on your monitor. And as a boss, optimism, I would imagine, has to reign, but it's a bit of a roadmap that man traveled, isn't it?
Yeah, it's funny. Even when we first got see why Mike Cameron was the player he was most compared to, and you know, as we would have said then or now, we'll take it. You know, Mike Cameron's been a tremendous player in the big leagues, and it's and he's done it where for the most part he hits 250 or 260, but he draws walks, he hits homers, he plays great defense, he steals bases, he's durable. That's a lot of positives. So. That would be a great roadmap for CY, and this was a very challenging year. Getting sent to AAA was not something he was requesting, but he handled it well, and his handles returned that.
Did he handle it well?
He did. You know, I think it's one of those when we first told him, you want him to be disappointed. Well, sure. He was professional, but he was disappointed, and then you know we checked in a lot with Dave Hansen and Rick Burleson and Brett Butler and people who were touching him, and by the end I called Brett Butler. I said, well, give me your review, having watched him now for a few weeks. And he said he talked a lot about his mechanics and how he's playing. He's like he's back to having some fun. I think you know the burden of the contract. You know, one of the coaches I know asked him the day we sent him down, and he said, CY, are you sleeping? He said no. I think he's a smart guy. He has high integrity. A contract can do a lot of things to a player. I think he maybe put some pressure on himself. Sure. He wanted to live up to that contract, and but you know, as you know, it's a hard enough game. If you're not having fun and having a hard time sleeping at night, it never lets up.
How's AJ's sleep patterns?
Good.
Has he been okay?
I think it's easy to say all the big picture stuff. None of us like losing. It's September. We'd like to win the rest of our games. And, your momentum can start today. Start winning and winning spring training, winning the minor leagues, and have all that lead to major league winning. So I think there's a lot of positive things going on, but I don't think we're all going to feel as good as we want to feel until we win a little bit more.
Frank Catalanato, a veteran, hits that one out to the aforementioned Chris Young. I know there's only so much you can tell us, but fans ask all the time, what's the very latest in the return from the Los Angeles Dodgers on the John Garland situation?
Unfortunately, it's something I can't really talk about.
I know there's only so much.
I'll leave it to Darren to ask then.
It's an in limbo situation, and sort of by rule, we're not allowed to talk about it. But I would assure the fans that, when the trade is completed, what we'll get back, we feel like made it worth it. John Garland's a very good pitcher. We were not in a playoff situation, and we're going to get a young player who has a chance to be here for a long time and be a good player for us.
Runner on the move, has to throw in time.
That's something to be happy about.
Stay with us for another half?
Absolutely.
I've been telling Darren for a while now about the arm on John Hess.
That's enough out of you. That's enough. The boss is in. Don't be acting like that. That's a beautiful throw. Quit kissing up to the boss.
Has on his side is he's already had postseason experience. He's already had a 30 home run season. As much as I think it gets mixed up sometimes, before the player finds out who he is, people have already told him what kind of player he can be without him figuring out what type of player he can be. But the struggles are a part of the game. Some people's struggles last longer than others.
Josh Burns, Executive Vice President and General Manager, joins us. That kind of buttons up a subject matter that we had an inning ago, but I certainly would welcome your reaction to what Mike Cameron had to say.
Pretty powerful stuff, and it's funny. I think, again, even in that meeting with CY, this is a smart, nice guy, and part of the advice was don't listen to everybody. It's sort
That's
of
good advice.
Put your own filter on and simplify things a little bit. When you're smart, you can sort of get caught up in the 10 pieces of advice you got on that day rather than keeping it a little simpler.
Well, I know you want to ask him about John Hester and that great throw. You've claimed him now as your guy, Gracie.
Well, no, there was really no question to be asked. I already knew that, Darren. That's what I'm trying to tell you. But he can hit, huh?
He can. He and Ryle are, guys get here in different ways. And these guys were both taken after the 10th round. They sort of marched along through AA last year, Fall League, and the AAA staff, Brett Butler, Rick Burleson, have done a really good job with them cleaning up their swings, and they've come up here and performed well.
Good changeup. Villanueva goes to work for the Milwaukee Brewers. Carlos Villanueva. sinker baller, changeup specialist as well. Has kind of not found a home in the big leagues as he's bounced between starter and reliever. Steven 0 for 2. Steven's experienced some bounces around this year offensively, probably more so than we saw last year.
Yeah, you know, I think Steven, he just got a change up on 2-1. He gets a lot of those, so it's a matter of slowing himself down sometimes.
As Drew goes down on strikes. We were talking with you about the Dodgers trade as we see this one more time. That's a nice curveball. And you couldn't comment. You can't comment on the trade you made with the Chicago White Sox. And our fans, of course, asking about first base as well. And, you know, the chances for Brandon Allen. First of all, what do you think about the return you got back in Brandon Allen? What do you think about as you look ahead to next year?
Well, he's going to have a real shot to play first base for us. We're going to have a lot of depth and competition on the roster. So, like anyone else, he's going to have to earn it and earn his playing time. But he, you know, we've seen up here he can hit the ball about as far and as hard as anyone. We've seen up here that he can play a little bit of defense, cover ground, make some throws, make some athletic plays. And I think what he has done and can do is have more consistent at bats. What he needs to do. You know, his last at bat, he's in a first and third no out situation, and you know, executed bats better. So I think that's a little bit of repetition. That's a lot of our other guys as they've progressed as young hitters with power, Upton and Reynolds. But Brandon Allen will go to the fall league. We'll keep giving him more of that repetition and unlock that power.
Who else you sending to the fall league?
We're going to have Brandon Allen as position players. Pedro Siriaco, who's a young shortstop, is in Double-A this year. Cole Gillespie, who we got from Milwaukee, who finished up in Reno, right-hand hitting outfielder. More than likely, pitchers, you're always sort of monitoring their workload. But right now, we're looking at Brian Augustine, Cesar Valdez, and then potentially Tom Lane and Scott Main, both left-handers.
Over at the Scottsdale Club, is that where all the guys are going?
Yeah, we won the championship at Phoenix Muni, and they sent us back to Scottsdale. So hopefully by 2011, we're hosting our own games in the fall league in our new ballpark.
Oh, that's exactly right. We all forget about that right there off of Indian Bend. Breaking ball on 3-1, 3-2 the count. Siriaco, I'm steering us off track, guys, so hold on tight, you viewers at home.
I remember him in spring training.
Like him. What are your thoughts? What are the reports telling you? How's his defense? How's his offense? I mean, just looking at him this spring, tell us about him.
Well, it's funny. We were talking earlier today about Escobar playing short for the Brewers, but you know, Siriaco has some of those skills. He's very athletic. He's probably a defense first guy. And he's kind of learning how to hit and manage the strike zone. I believe, managed to hit about 300 this year in Double-A after a rough start. But he can fly, and he's one of those guys who's making errors, but he makes a lot of plays. And in the fall league, we're also going to try to expose him to a little bit of second base and center field, because I think breaking into the big leagues, using your athleticism, being able to play a few spots will probably give him a chance.
And did you mention anything about Connor Jackson, what he was going to do this winter?
Well, it's sort of as we go, we'll figure it out. He feels better. He's doing a lot more cardiovascular work, kind of building up his energy. But he'll probably go to Instruction League, which starts on September 20th. Okay. Get in the swing of things, face some live pitching. If all goes well there, we might send him to winter ball. We have not had success trying to get him in the fall league, but I think if Connor feels good, he's willing to go to the Dominican or Mexico or wherever he needs to go to keep playing.
1-1 the count. Instruction League down in.
It's down in Tucson. It's about a 25-day program, and you know, we play the Rockies
all the time.
We do play one game up here.
Right there in the minor league parks, or in the spring training minor league parks?
On our side, the minor league park. On their side, we play in the stadium, and then we'll play one game at Chase Field, which the guys get a kick out of. Justin Upton hit an absolute rocket and Chase as an instruction player.
That one, broken bat. My friend, thank you very much.
So who's going into that?
Oh boy,
that wasn't Mark's rocket for the season.
No, it's been a tough year. Thank you for coming in. Josh Burns, more after this. softer and a little more depth, a little more dip, a true off-speed pitch as we saw it against the Dodgers. Today a little bit harder, some that he wishes he had back. But then finally a little bit later on in the game you see the better depth to the slider. Escobar fouled it off. Still a work in progress. Still, I think, needing the confidence that goes along with changing the delivery of a pitch. Not easy to do. It's like a hitter saying, okay, now I'm going to stand with an open stance. It just, you're not going to see consistency with it, probably, I would guess, Gracie, until next year.
And, you know, Darren, sometimes maybe even further than that.
No, you're right.
Like I played with some guys, Darren, that you know, wanted to throw a sinker. They just couldn't make a ball sink for the life of them. Couldn't make a ball sink. Rick Sutcliffe was one of those guys. Just couldn't get a ball to sink. So he had to throw four-seam fastballs. And Max, you know what? That just might be a slider. That just might be it. You just don't know.
Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch, no surprises there. Is that slider that has better tilt to it, dives down and in. 3-2 the count. Just know this: it's being worked on and regularly. Something that he wants to be better. Boy, that's a good pitch. He'll give you up. He's not giving you out though. Talking about Eric Cooper behind the plate.
Center fielder Mike Cameron.
Lopez fouled a ball off, Gracie. We'd like to submit a gentleman or a person, I'm not sure if a gentleman or a lady, for a contract. And really, I haven't seen it either. So the truck is submitting this. I'm told it comes off a bobble and then a recovery there.
Nope, not a contract.
Wow. Okay.
Sorry.
I mean,
nice play. Good heads up.
No contract there, huh?
You're willing to give that a contract, huh?
I don't know. Look at the heads-up play. Now, hey, he's got it. Look at him showing. Oh, whoa, wait a minute. Now, he threw it off his lady friend there. No, that's not big league. No contract. I was going to give you the contract, sir, until you threw it off the gals that were with you. Outside to Mike Cameron. 1-1 the count. Mike's son, 12 years old, said he'll call him up sometimes when Mike's traveling. We live through telephones when we're on the road, folks, as you can imagine. Mike no different as that one is outside. Dad, what are you doing? What do you mean, son? Just sitting here in the hotel room. No, I mean, what are you doing? Because you always tell me to slow things down and don't swing at pitches out of the zone. Then what are you doing? Because you tell me to do it, but you're not doing it, Dad. He said, there are times that my son is my best coach. Because all the things that I've learned, I immediately say to him, and then he will watch. And through the eyes of a young man, he watches very clearly. And especially when it's Dad hitting.
Good story.
All right, son, sorry. I'll get back to being a little bit more selective.
My bad. Swing of strikes.
The 2-2. Change up ground ball. Reynolds gets one. On to first. That's a double play. Swung at a strike, but it had a little bit of dive to it. Because of that, it was a ground ball and a double play. Just 7 rolled up this year. He's not a double play guy. Max Scherzer.
It looked like a changeup there from Scherzer. Nicely done there by Reynolds and Ryle. All you need is just a little R&R. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Reynolds, Ryle.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I still need a pitcher.
Ooh, yeah. Now we're talking. Well, after the ball game, I'm sure we can find some place to go.
No. Just a right-hander that can throw about 95.
Oh, okay. Back to that. Okay.
Imagine there was a message that just lit up on Mike Cameron's phone. Dad, stop hitting into double plays. Not out there. We don't, not that kind of pitcher, though we love to visit Fridays. We were out there yesterday with the likes of Mike Cameron for the Milwaukee Brewers, but except for that, it was a Diamondbacks gathering at Fridays. Gathering, asking questions to Miguel Montero, Augie Ojeda, and Peter Woodfork, executive and general manager, assistant general manager for the D-backs. As that is strike 3, Ryan Braun decides he just soon not run. Play. Look, when you spend a majority of the year looking way up at the Mendoza line, it's really cool when you get on a hot streak. I mean, you were looking up saying, there it is up there. Well, Chris Young has turned it around of late and hopefully taking things all the way to the finish line this season on a much more positive uptick. Max Scherzer has gone over the 100 pitch mark, and I would imagine at 108, as he's getting closer to the innings limit that he'll be dealing with on the season, that may be it for Max today.
Yeah, and I would imagine now you start looking at the big picture if you're the Diamondback staff and brass. Just how important is it now to get Max Scherzer into maybe the 120 to 135 pitch range? Well, that might be something best left for next year. Hopefully when the games are bigger in September of next year.
Yep, a handshake from the manager. Manager doesn't give you a full-blown handshake, and the team doesn't line up for you just at the end of a clean inning.
Very well done today by Max.
Max, a guy, and Ryan Braun was touching on this as that one is popped up off the bat of Chris Young. Ryan talking about expectations that players play with and saying, as Ryan said, he better get used to it, Max Scherzer. Well, and here's the thing about Max. We could talk about, struggles that he had along the way and maybe that secondary pitch that isn't there, but on a team that, well, we'll tell you, we're just about embarrassed of our record at 62 and 81. Max Scherzer, when he starts, if they win today, and there's still a big if in a 2-1 game, but Arizona is 15 and 12 right now in his 27 starts this year as a team. 15 and 12. They win when he pitches.
And you're talking about a team that's 19 games under 500. That's a pretty good stat. That's a great shot. Those eyes.
So when you win when a pitcher pitches, to me, you're a pretty good pitcher.
Dan Herron's in that company too, isn't he?
And that's it. Those are the four that took the ball more than anyone else this year. Doesn't mean Doug's having a bad year. It just means that to take it the other way, as Max has done, Danny, has been an ace. I think for Max, I think that's a very important number. Could be 16 and 12. That one is high. Remember the days of John Garland in a Diamondbacks uniform. Seems like only yesterday.
You've now started referring to him as the enemy.
And?
Yeah, just kind of a catchy little nickname.
It is a good one, isn't it?
Yeah, it's one of the better ones.
I thought you'd like that. When you play for the Dodgers, aren't you? That one is rolled foul. So, John Garland is an enemy. Anyway, we move along. 1-2 the count.
It's a terrible hat.
That is an awful hat, isn't it? You know, that had the old Brooklyn logo on it.
Now, I like the Brooklyn stuff, but... Yeah.
But like that, set up like that?
Not very big league.
Bouncing ball, Escobar. Are you kidding me? Alcides Escobar with an incredible play.
And it's not like Rusty Riles' a slowpoke. That is a fabulous play. You're not going to see anything any better than this, folks. The reach, and still get a bunch on the throw and get Ryle by a step. Wow. That's one of the better plays I've seen, Darren. Got him easy.
Teammates loving it. Young, talented prospect. Alcides Escobar. The point of discussion isn't if Escobar deserves to be here and probably displacing J.J. Hardy. No one, I don't think, is arguing that. I just think it's in the way J.J. has been treated if you were to ask Brewers fans. They're two different discussions. Can the kid play it short? You bet he can play. He can play some great defense. The other part of it is how do you treat an important player who has been with your franchise since his beginnings?
Yeah, and has been an all-star.
How do you choose to treat it? And there are some who say unacceptable the way it's happened. 2-1 the count. But with a smile, I say, even in this series and only doing 2 of the 3 games, the kid can play some short.
Flat out play some shortstop.
I know you were across the country, but I would imagine you saw the play he made a couple of nights ago on the second part of a double play.
I think that one was just better.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. 2-2 to Hester. Did he? No, he didn't. Mike Riley says, hold on now. Don't be jogging off the field, everyone. I'll let you know when it's strike 3. Fouled off. No, off the end of the bat. He thought he had fouled it off. How about that? Cued it off the end of the bat. What a play by the young shortstop, the #1 prospect. Now he's in the big leagues doing that. Oh, yeah, you bet. our APS rooftop solar camp. Reminder, install solar panels on the roof of your home if you are able. Visit APS.com. Manage your bill in a much better manner. Let's head on out to the pool. Right now, Power Sports Pool Camp. Look at it. They're having a great time. As always, out at the pool. You bet. Hey, kids. Hello? They didn't hear me.
They didn't hear you this time?
No. That bit never gets old, though.
Thought there was a microphone out there.
Daniel Schlereth takes the baseball. Talented young left-hander. And he faces a powerful left-handed hitter here in just a moment, in Prince Fielder. Fourth inning, fastball away.
He just got a fastball away and just drove it about 390 feet the other way. Just amazing how strong this kid is. So Daniel Schlereth going to come on and take over from Max Scherzer, who was terrific today, and Gerardo Parra going to get his turn out in left field.
And Ryan Roberts at second base. So the flamethrower from the left side faces Fielder. Breaking ball nearly got the inside corner, had him buckled there.
That one did buckle him.
Fielder with 126 RBIs in that homer, tying Cecil Cooper in 83 for the Brewers franchise record in a single season. Fastball rocket into right field and a base hit. He hangs in there nicely, doesn't he?
Was that ball ever smoked? Fastball middle, knee high. Schlereth very fortunate that was just a single.
Prince this year, Gracie, hits .273 against lefties for a left-handed power hitter. That's pretty darn good. His on base is .353, and he slugs nearly .600 against lefties.
Yeah, he hangs in there nicely off of him. Oh, there's a good breaking ball there to start McGee. Fouled it off his foot. Good to see our old buddy Jody Davis came in to say hello to us between innings.
That's a great name. As much as I watched and listened to your name nationwide on TV, that's another one that.
Old teammate. Kind of took me under his wing when I was young, him and Rick Sutcliffe, and I blame them for everything that has happened since then.
You blame them? That one is fouled off.
Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I give them a lot of the credit.
Well, I'll tell you,
teaching me the right way.
I'll give them credit for just choosing to take you under their wings. That's a bold decision.
Just taught me which people to avoid, which people to hang around.
It's a very important part of this game. And you hope that it's not a lost start.
Anymore, you're right. Jody doing some catching instruction in the Chicago Cubs organization now. A few of my old teammates are from the Cubs are in the coaching ranks. Hall of Famer Ryan Sandberg now managing in the Cubs system. We saw Sean Dunston in San Francisco in uniform. That's strike 3.
And a good breaking ball, hard breaking ball there.
And McGee thought he did foul it, but I think it went into the glove of Hester and not into the ground first. If it doesn't hit the ground, yeah, that's strike 3. That's the right call there by Eric Cooper. Good pitch. If Hester catches that cleanly, if it's foul tipped or not, it's strike 3.
So now Corey Hart. 2-1 the score. Fastball is away. 1-0 the count. And the Diamondbacks still have yet to go and play the Cubs. Have yet to go to Chicago. Be the last series of the year. And we'll have a couple of the ball games for you.
Nice breaking ball there to even the count. But I remember in March when we saw the Diamondbacks schedule come out and we saw that last series of the season. You saw the road trip, San Francisco and Chicago. Boy, those are going to be some big games. I'll bet there's going to be a lot on the line there. And
It was certainly a disappointing season for the Diamondbacks and the Cubs.
That's exactly right. You thought leading into this series that this series would be big for the visiting team and for the home team. Another similar series. You thought Milwaukee would be hanging around as well. No, you're right.
With their offense, you're right.
Nice job, Hester. That's the part of his job that you can tell he takes very seriously. And when you get one shot a week, you better. And puts his nose down on the baseball, has done so very effectively. Speaking of nose, there's Miguel Montero.
Oh, you're bad.
We love him.
That's why I love you.
Oh, we love him, and he has had an incredible year. Said yesterday when he was up at the Ball Yard Talks, and was he great with the fans as he interacted with them. Back in the days, folks, going back 40 years ago, there were 2 All-Star games, one mid-season, one after the season. He would be an All-Star if there were a second All-Star game.
And there's no question. The second half has been fabulous for him. Not fabulous there. It was the walk to Corey Hart. First and second now, 1 out.
But there's one thing I didn't know about Miguel yesterday that I learned in that discussion with the fans. His family tree traces mom and dad's side to Spain. Grew up in Venezuela, but Spain, and then the family moved to Venezuela. So his family, no interest in him playing baseball. They were soccer people. You come from Spain, that's your sport.
Real Madrid.
That's exactly right. Well, you've heard that high-pitched voice and the energy behind it. Somehow he talked him into being baseball people. Taught himself the English language.
Kind of self-taught with the English, isn't he?
I mean, that a day like yesterday's fun because you got a group of 200 people listening to him speak through a microphone.
Sure.
Good fastball. And while we wax about the stories of Miguel Montero, this situation getting to be a little bit more high leverage here for Schlereth with the ball game hanging in the balance. Oh, 0-2 the count. The Giants routing the Dodgers, but is it too little too late?
7-0 in the 6th inning in San Francisco.
Breaking ball in on the hands, could be trouble. Here comes Young. He'll play it on a hop. They'll stop the runner. The bases are loaded with 1 out. Max Scherzer trying to get to 10 wins. And right now, that big run is at 3rd in Prince Field to tie this ball game up.
Just a bloop there. Perfectly placed out there in right center field. Right in front of Chris Young, who got it in quickly and kept Prince Fielder at 3rd base.
By the way, the news on DeFelice, who came out of this game earlier.
Right.
A shoulder strain. So
let's hope that's all it is.
I tend to get scared anytime I hear anything like that. So the conversation continues. Schlereth getting ready to face Escobar. Vasquez warming in the pen. Well, you just need a ground ball here. That's all there is to it.
Something fierce.
The bases are full. 2-1 the score. 273 this year for Escobar. 18 hits and 66 at bats in his time in the big leagues. Fastball ground ball. It shoots the ball. They're going to send the runner on around on just enough. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. Runner to 3rd. Runners on 1st and 3rd. The Milwaukee Brewers grab the lead. Max Scherzer will not win for the 10th time this year, and that's a shame. And this time it's the 7th inning, not the 8th inning.
First pitch fastball right down the middle. You got the ground ball you wanted, but unfortunately for the Diamondbacks, it's to the left of the sprawling Ryan Roberts, and the Brewers take the lead. They've just been the better team in this series, Darren.
They've been the better team in the matchup between these two teams for 3 years.
True. It's been a bad matchup. The Brewers have been a very bad matchup for the Diamondbacks.
Jason Bourgeois.
Wow. Bourgeois. Trying to extend the lead.
Fastball is high. 1-0 the count. So a single by Fielder, a strikeout of McGee, Hard with a walk, Rivera with a single, little flare out there, and then Escobar, a beautiful piece of hitting. Bourgeois started 6 times for Milwaukee, 0 for his last 15. Hit .316 in more than 100 games in AAA this year. 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for Milwaukee. 2-4-0 for the Diamondbacks. Good diving breaking ball. 1-1 the count. Speaking of Chicago, we talked about it. Milwaukee off to Chicago. They've got a 4-gamer there. That's where they head, and they can just take a bus home from there. The 1-1. Breaking ball, fly ball, tough chance Upton, and it should reach the seats. It does. No contract out there. That was a terrible play.
Was it an awful play?
Goodness gracious.
Got the ball. That's a good thing. Nobody's hurt. That's a good thing.
I was a Brewers fan.
Oh, okay. That's where you were going with that.
I didn't realize it until I saw it.
And usually you save, most of your terrible insults for opposing fans.
Well, their fans haven't been terrible though this year. They're going to draw more than 3 million. More than 3 million. Baseball's smallest market. Kind of crazy, isn't it?
Well, you lived there for a lot of years, Darren. Is it the same? Do they have a love affair?
Good pitch.
3. Do they have a love affair for the basketball team there, the Bucks?
No.
No, it's not the same. Obviously the Packers, but the Packers aren't really in Milwaukee, are they?
Well, they may as well be.
Okay.
No. They may as well be. I mean, that speaks really to the passion for sports, period, in the state, because the Packers will still get, no matter what, will still get the most love and affection.
Okay.
No matter what. But that speaks to the sports passion in that state, I think. Matter of fact, I grew quite tired of hearing about the Packers in 5 years. Oh, you bet.
Well, you're a Lions fan.
That's why I'm a Lions fan now.
And they took it on the chin again today. That's a shock.
They'll be just fine. It's only 0-1. It's not 0-16. Just hold on. We'll restore the roar here soon. Soon.
And you got to try to hold somebody under 45 points.
Well, it'll be there. It'll be happening. We'll appreciate that reminder, by the way.
Restore the roar.
It's coming.
Oh, nice breaking ball there from Schlereth.
1-1 the count to Felipe Lopez. Switch hitter flips it on around and bats right-handed. The 1-1. Chopper, somehow he put that ball out onto the field. No idea how he even made contact with it.
You see the fooled swing there, Felipe Lopez. He's down in the count, 1-2. So I think the fastball in is the pitch you need right here.
3-2, Milwaukee leads it. He'll step off. Topper, Reynolds better hurry.
Yes.
Double pump. And the double pump, Lopez reaches, and a run will score. Boy, that big extra run there for Milwaukee.
Well, in basketball, they call this traveling. There it is. That extra step is all it took to make Felipe Lopez safe at first. That'll go as a hit and an RBI.
4-2 the score. You're right, Gracie. It was a tough day for the Lions. Appreciate you pointing that out.
Again.
Here's Mike Cameron. Fouls that one off. Just a quick update for all the Packers fans watching. Brett Favre's 1-0.
Did the Vikings win today?
Oh, they did. 34-20.
Well, that's going to please all those cheeseheads, isn't it? They're not going to be pleased at all about that. There's a lot of people that just think that's an imposter, that Brett's still really the quarterback, not this Rodgers guy. It's actually still Brett Favre.
The 0-1. Got away with the high breaking ball there. 0-2 the count. Quite tired of hearing about him as well, quite honestly.
Well, in my opinion, the most narcissistic human being in the world is Brett Favre.
But he's 1-0.
Just wanted to remind all the Packer fans that, did you? That was nice of you, Dave.
The 0-2. That one bounces in there. 1-2 the count. Thought I'd do that. You know how much I love all you folks. Four to 2 the score. The Brewers lead. All right. Bouncing ball. That one into center field. A base hit. Racing on around is Escobar. He will score, and Milwaukee now leads it 5-2. Really tough inning for Schler. He has now faced 8 hitters, and A.J. Hinch will have to take the ball from him.
Yeah, just a fastball, belt tie right down the middle, Cameron. Just putting it in play, and that's all it takes. Just chops it right up the middle. And it's so far a 4-run inning here for the Brewers.
Trots down. Brewers fans, Diamondbacks dugout holler out all at once. We need a pitcher. for coverage of the Arizona Cardinals.
Yes.
Monday night at 10:30, it's the premiere of Cardinals Overtime. We'll give you a detailed breakdown of the Cards opener against the 49ers. Then Wednesday night at 9:30, catch the midweek press conferences in their entirety. Gracie, it's called Cardinals Headquarters.
Yes. I don't know. The Cardinals are locked up in a tough one against those Niners. Should be a good show. As that one skied to left field. Is there room?
There is. Ryan Braun is retired. Didn't run again.
What was the foul?
That's Ozzie-like there, and then this afternoon.
That's Hall of Fame like there.
And then, of course, he hurts the team with his bat. Smiles there for Escobar. Now, I'm not going through a full recantation, but I must say that as we have a little fun and talking about football, I do recall, Gracie, and I know you've been to some Bears games in the wintertime. I do recall with some fondness going to a game at Lambeau Field.
I've never been to a game at Lambeau Field, and before I kick the bucket, that's on my bucket list.
And I do remember freezing. I mean, freezing.
I want to go in like October or November. I don't want to go in like December.
You need to go in December, my friend.
No.
And you sit and you settle in,
TV, thanks.
and you put the boots on, and you put warmers in your boots. You know those little warmers you crunch up, put them in there. Didn't have enough coats. I didn't own enough coats, but it was still an incredible experience. Oh, you bet. Then I went home and shoveled my driveway.
Now, how far of a drive to Lambeau Field was it from Milwaukee for you?
I want to say it's a couple of hours.
Couple hours,
about right.
Leading off for the Diamondbacks first.
Anyway, just so I was giving you folks out there a hard time, you cheesers, you Midwesterners.
Brett Favre's 1-0.
But he is 1-0. Brandon Allen to lead it off. I like that fan. That's a D-backs fan right there. He's still a Packers fan. And that's a strike. Actually, he was wearing a Favre jersey there.
Was he?
It's Mitch Snetter going to work, the left-hander.
The side wheeling left-hander. Doesn't throw very hard, but he's more about deception. Way out in front of it. Here's Allen. 0-2.
Works all the time. 65 appearances. Look at that opponent's batting average, below 200.
Pretty good take there. Tough pitch to lay off.
I just got a note from my wife, Kristen. And she says it was actually I was shoveling the driveway, she says.
That sounds like you. Honey, you missed a spot.
You were at the football game getting driven. I was home shoveling the driveway. Thank you, honey. You're right. I'm sorry. 1-2 the count. Yeah, you wintered some when you were back there, didn't you?
Oh, sure.
You didn't always escape to the heat.
Chicago was very cold in the wintertime. That one popped up. Felipe Lopez will take care of that. One out.
So Brandon Allen is erased. And now Eric Burns.
Pinch hitting for his Burning Man's Test, number 22, Eric Burns.
208 this year. 5 homers, 24 RBIs. Hitless in his last 12 at bats and 2 for his last 28. He takes a pitch that is high and away. 1-0 the count. One and one. Cup collecting. Folks are just collecting cups.
Well, just got to make sure you know how many you had.
Cup collecting. As that one is inside.
Don't have too much Hawaiian punch.
2-1 the count.
Probably still in Favre denial. He's 1-0.
That's funny you should mention that. I was just going to say he's 1-0. As that one, Eric Burns down the line. He's on the move in this 5-2 game, trying to get something going. Ryan Braun's running now as he goes to get that baseball and shoots it on in. So Burnsy, as Gracie likes to call him, comes up with a double to get things started.
It's one of my favorite nicknames, and he rips a fastball right down the middle, right down the left field line. That ball was hit very hard. But the Diamondbacks still got some work to do. You see Burns still a little ginger on those legs, those hamstrings still bothering him probably from earlier in the year. Just been an injury-plagued season for Burnsy, as my partner likes to call him.
That's a good nickname. Here's Ryan Roberts.
Nice slider there to get ahead 0-1.
Little comeback piece here. How about it for the Diamondbacks? Battle back, do some damage. This is a Brewers club that has not been able to pitch all year long. That's one of the reasons they're not in the race. They can hit. Maybe make some hay in a game in which you know that just about everyone in the bullpen is going to pitch. Yet you've managed just a pair of runs. See if Arizona has some comeback in them. As that one is fouled off, Roberts will hobble around.
Yeah, these Brewers have really throttled the Diamondbacks with their pitching this series. Coming into this game, the Brewers had outscored the Diamondbacks 18-4.
Oh, and 2 the count. Pitch is high. 1-2 the count. Milwaukee's out hit Arizona 8-5. Roberts shoots that one into left field. It's a base hit. Burns high stepping it on around third. He will score 5-3. All right, here we go.
Nice two-strike hitting right there by Ryan Roberts. To get the D-backs a little closer. Just didn't try to do too much. Got a slider. It was up. He just fought it off into left field. Pulled his hands in nicely, and the tying run gonna step to the plate, and I got it right this time, Darren. It is actually the tying run.
Well done, Gracie.
Had a little mishap last week.
We're only off by a couple 5 base runners. Here's Stephen Drew. A lot closer than I've been on my mishaps and miscues. By the way, why do you say you need to take advantage? This Brewers staff as a whole has a 4.77 ERA. It's the second highest in the National League to only Washington. The 0-1. Drew, base hit right field. Roberts thinks it's bobbled. He's keeping his eye on it, so he heads to third and bobble it right. That'll be an error on Corey Hart. Is the comeback on? It sure looks like it may be.
Nicely done there by Stephen Drew. He got something he can handle. This time he drives it into right field. And just the threat of going to third base. Brian Roberts, that makes Corey Hart take a peek. And once he saw it, once he looks up and looks back, he sees the bobble. Off to third he goes. But just the threat of going to third made Corey Hart peek a little bit, and that caused him to bobble it.
That's why from the moment you take off, if you're Roberts, you run hard. Give it all you have.
Right.
And it cashed in. All right, time for Justin to cash in on his efforts. Drew at first. Those are the tying runs, just enough to looking to do some damage. We look ahead. Our Miller Lite what's brewing. Billy Buckner. He meets up with Kevin Correa, Dan Herron against Wade LeBlanc, and then radio only on Wednesday. It's Double D against Edward Mujica. Come with us. Cool off in San Diego, California. You know we always have fun out there. And we'll join you on Fox Sports Arizona. Familiar face, Claudio Vargas, who has done very good work since he has become a reliever for Milwaukee. In 19 appearances for Milwaukee, his ERA is 2.66, 20 in the third inning, 6 earned runs.
Justin Upton looking to give his team the lead.
Pitches away from Vargas. Tell us about his stuff. You had him here for a while.
Well, Claudio's a big guy, a long guy. And he's going to throw in the mid-90s. He's got a slider. He's got a changeup. And if he's hitting corners, his stuff plays at this level, Darren. His problem throughout his career is he's an extremely slow worker. He'll really slow things down. And that's tough to play behind.
The 1-0. Outside. 2-0 the count. Mark Reynolds waits on deck. Now you have your base runners on. You have the table set. You know that in the ninth inning you have Trevor Hoffman to deal with. The clock's ticking for Arizona. Justin's 0 for 3. Hitters count of 2-0. Outside, and 3-0 is the count to Justin Upton.
I give him the green light.
Why not?
Try to give your team the lead right here. You might get something right down Broadway, and if you do, go ahead and
Hit it on somewhere to Tempe.
Just in locks that stance in place. And on 3-0. Doesn't matter, he takes. It's ball 4. All right, now Mark Reynolds with the bases loaded. Mark walked, swiped a bag, and also doubled and scored a run. 94 runs batted in this year for Mark. So he's never hit a grand slam home run, and he's hitless this year with the bases loaded. He does have a walk, though, remember?
Yes.
Very patient walk to win it.
Too long ago.
So here we go. 5-3 the score. Outside.
That's 5 wide ones since coming into the game.
Hit it here, Mark Reynolds, right there. Right. That's a great message, but just not there. We don't really want him to foul it over the dugout. We love the passion, though. Just the right message, the wrong place. The 1-0. Popped it up. Escobar chasing back.
Boy, that's painful right there.
The first strike he had thrown.
That one got in on Mark. He wasn't ready for it, and that's a big out. I don't even know if that was a strike there. It might have been a little up and a little in. Well, what a huge out that was for Claudio Vargas and the Brewers.
Chris Young has struck out. He also hit a 2-run home. He has flied to left field. In his last 9 games, he's got 6 homers. He's got 12 hits, doing much more damage. 1 career grand slam. 1 hit this year with the bases loaded. In 9 at-bats. Up and away. 1-0 the count. This was an 11-pitch at-bat. That's how it happened. Not worried much about that. Just take a ground ball through a hole somewhere. The right-hander with the 1-0. Bouncer and foul back behind home plate. Vargas has thrown 8 pitches. 6 of them have missed out of the zone. On 1-1. Over the top of a sinking fastball, 1-2. Ball out, some big dive on.
It really did, didn't it? A 90-mile-an-hour fastball acted almost like a split finger. I don't remember Claudio having that kind of movement.
1-2.
Chris Young might have to hit the dry side.
The 1-2 pitch. Outside, strike 3. Vargas did a great job. An empty inning offensively for the Diamondbacks. The bases were loaded with 1 out. brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They're ready when you are. Go to southwest.com. Gracie and I will be on Wednesday. Grab your bag. It's on. Clay Zavada takes over, the left-hander. I wonder if Southwest flies to Streeter, Illinois.
Well,
they go to Chicago.
Chicago. Streeter probably not.
No. Well, Clay goes to work against Prince Fielder. Well, here's a nice assignment. Big shift. Stephen Drew moving as the pitch comes home. That one is nubbed foul. That was interesting. The defense was set to shift. Stephen Drew, as that pitch was coming home, was still trotting into position behind the bag at second base. He had just gotten there as you saw that ball nubbed foul.
He almost hit it against the shift there and got himself a freebie.
The 0-1. Ian. Good pitch there.
With that one.
Yeah, they shift all the way around. As a matter of fact, Ryan Robertson, shallow right field. The 0-2. Maybe on an off day when the Diamondbacks head to Chicago to play the Cubs Saturday for television, it's an off day. As of now, anyway. We'd love to add it for you. We'll see, but maybe we'll head down to Streeter.
Oh, I'm going. I already told you.
There's a strikeout of Prince Fielder.
I'm going to go see him up, remember?
His aunt runs a great golf course down there. That'll be fun.
Third baseman Casey McGee.
That looked like the changeup. He's got a very good one. You can see Fielder way out in front of it. Might have been the fastball away. Tough to tell.
Pitch is low. One and one the count on Casey McGee. Yeah, Clay has been saying, he's been hearing from all his friends out in Streeter that they're kind of starting to expect us.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm going.
All right.
We'll just, maybe we can just shoot out of Chicago that last series of the season. Just head on down. Couple-hour drive is all.
Also, when the season's over,
we'll just drive on down. Maybe play a round of golf.
That's not big league.
Well, why not?
We need to go on that Saturday on the off day. No TV that day.
Oh, okay. I see what you're talking. Yep, that's what we're doing. We're going.
I'm coming home when the season's over.
Streeter.
That one is low. Now, after I've been home for a week,
right?
My wife might say, "You can go to Streeter now. Just go out,
please.
Drive me nuts." And home for a week.
Don't you have a road trip soon?
That one is fouled off.
Well, no, honey, the season's over.
Dang.
Wow.
By the way, nearly a contract up there by a fan watching.
Came up empty?
Wearing a Vikings jersey. Brett Favre's 1-0.
I heard something about that.
That pitch is low. He's number one. Diamondbacks are number one. So is Brett Favre. Just asking.
He's 1-0, yes. There he is. Good to have him.
That pitch is low from Clay, and that's ball 4. You know what? We need to take a trip out of town to Streeter. And also to our free creditreport.com. Know your out-of-town scoreboard. Know your score. Visit freecreditreport.com. The Red Sox and the Rays in that ball game, and you can see the Rockies too much handing from the Padres. 6-3 the score there, and the Giants all over the Dodgers.
Padres playing some good baseball, Darren.
Oh, they certainly are. Not going to be a walk in the park for Arizona when they head to San Diego.
And that was a red-hot Colorado ball club going into San Diego.
They're hammering them tonight after beating them last night.
What's happened to the Giants? I mean, they're having a good day today, but it just
they're winning today.
Disappeared. They're 5.5 back on the card. They're now tied with Florida for second in the card. One and one the count. Just a quick look at the updated standings. Unless something dramatic happens, LA and Colorado are going to the playoffs.
Looks like it.
Corey Hart, a fly ball center field, Young. That was not an easy play, only because go stand in your home and look at a window with the sun shining in and see what it's like.
Darren, it's very difficult out there. From the top windows of the stadium, that beautiful Arizona sun peeks right through.
Used his glove there for a moment. Very comfortably making that play. So Ken Maka wants to come out and have a discussion about something.
Don't know what's going on. He's going to have a pinch runner. Craig Counsell going to come out and run to McGee.
How about this crowd, by the way? They still love him here, don't they? Those are Brewers fans clapping. They certainly are. Those are Diamondbacks fans clapping for Craig Counsell. That's why. Your old teammate, partner.
Couldn't have done it without him. He's still out there doing it. Good for him.
Move didn't make much sense, but nice ovation.
Well, probably for defense. Counsell will come out and play third base for the bottom of the ninth inning.
One and 0 the count to Mike Rivera. Craig makes his home in the Midwest, still keeps a home out here, comes and visits. Obviously, as a member of the Brewers, spends his spring training out here. But you'll find him in the wintertime back in the snow, has great baseline seats for Marquette basketball games as a regular attendee.
Al McGuire.
One and 0 the count. And the count 1-1 to Mike Rivera. 5 runs, 8 hits, and an error for the Brewers. 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors for the Diamondbacks. Clay picks over. Escobar waits on deck. And Craig is Counsell. Incredibly quick-witted. You don't want to match a war of words with him.
Very dry.
Yeah, and it's dry, and it can be a little edgy. You don't want to get him going. You might be in big trouble. And he sees the game through a manager's eyes.
Well, I think he'll be a coach or a manager someday. And I think he'd be a good one.
The 1-2. Nearly got the inside corner. You could tell Clay hoped he had gotten it. The 2-2. That one is nubbed off the end of the bat. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Baseball season trickles into October. And of course, postseason. Well, we start hearing more about other sports when it's all said and done. As that one is swung right through. That's strike 3. Mike Rivera goes down on strikes. Clay gets back in that dugout. Come on, boys, let's get something going. Come on, let's go. Howard Nova home loans in-game box score. There's some matchsticks on their way down. No one with a multiple hit day. Chris Young with a 2-run homer. The Diamondbacks, well, they need to go to work and do it now because you know who will be lurking for the ninth inning. Baseball's all-time saves leader, Trevor Hoffman. So Gerardo Parra, he takes strike 1. Craig Counsell is now at third base. And that old body stretched out. Played at Notre Dame. Not Gerardo Parra.
Oh, I thought. Oh,
I knew you were thinking that. That's what I figured.
That's what I'm saying. Notre Dame still reeling from that loss to the Michigan Wolverines.
Did they lose?
Saturday. Yeah.
Oh boy.
They did. Counsell none too happy.
Parra juices that one. Golly.
I mean, like a cheetah. Had a long way to go and really made a difficult play look pretty easy, Darren. That's how easily he glides out there.
Here's John Hester. Vargas misses high and away. 1-0 the count. Put your rally caps on at home, by the way. Want to make that really clear.
It's that time, huh?
It's that time. Not a big fan of getting swept by the Brewers. I would imagine you folks aren't as well. 2-0 the count.
Well, Diamondbacks have had some big time chances. They've scored 2 runs in the 4th and 1 in the 7th, but really both of those could easily have been, 4 and 5 run innings.
The 2-0. Outside, 3-0 the count. Five to 3, the pitch comes home. Well, there's a base runner. Let's see. Some of the missed opportunities, Grace, you were speaking of.
There's the double play ball. 2 are already across the board. That ended that inning, and then the base is loaded, 1 out. Mark Leonard's popped up. And Chris Young was called out looking to thwart what could have been another really big inning, Darren.
So here is Brandon Allen. That pitch dives low, and now we'll have a visit to the mound as this game flies along.
Yeah, Claudio can get stuck in the molasses. As if the other pitchers in this game weren't stuck in it as well.
Right at their top screen, don't forget Todd Walsh always hosts the 10th inning, and it's a fabulous show. Stay tuned after the ball game. The game behind the game, the people behind the game. And as we said, so proud of what Todd does each and every Sunday that show is on. So keep it right here. The 1-0. 1-1 the count to Brandon Allen. Moving just fine defensively, as we pointed out earlier, around the bag. Now Allen tries to handle the challenges of hitting here in the major leagues. He's got pop. You make a mistake, he'll hit it out. The 1-1. Outside, 2-1 the count. See what you mean about Vargas, by the way.
How's that?
The pace of work.
Oh yeah, it's a slow burn.
The 2-1. Pop that one up.
Got a good pitch to hit there and missed it.
I would imagine at times, not always, and I know you guys in the big leagues are pros for a reason, but those legs on occasion will feel like concrete.
I mean, that is center cut right there to hit, and he missed it.
Two and two the count. Now he's ready. Now he delivers. And it's a ground ball. Could be two. There's one and two. That is a double play. Okay, he might be slow, but the results are certainly positive, especially since he's moved to the bullpen. This double play actually coming after midnight. Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Ah, there we go. Nope, not going to do that.
Yeah, now that's what we're talking about there.
The strutting Suttons.
No.
Oh, yeah, we're going to see a bunch of them running around this ballpark with big old melons. That's going to be big.
Oh, no.
Strutting Suttons.
I'm not the
I'm all
legend,
for
pal.
it. That's one of the best signs of the year.
Gutierrez takes over, and ERA just a click over 4. I'm not the legend, you are, my friend. Now, once this season ends, I just go back and, go to work around the house. You're a star. It's got to be the Racing Gracies.
No.
Huh?
The Racing Gracies. No, and I want to thank all the folks that keeps on their minds on Twitter and D-backs booth.
Good shout out to the folks at D-backs booth, by the way. Well done.
I want to thank them for vehemently being against the Racing Gracies.
For Claudio Vargas, number 22, Jody Garrett.
Well, you travel the world with all-star squads. I'm at, like the Blackhawks Invitation, my daughter's soccer tournament that we're hosting this year in February. That's what I'm there, and I'm on sanitation duty. It'll be fun, though. Looking forward to some soccer. That's the sport I learned in the wintertime.
Soccer.
I've learned it. I love it. It's a great sport. So that's why the Racing Gracies, he's a star. What do you think?
Well, I think you're 100% wrong.
No?
Yeah, no, it's the strutting Suttons.
That's terrible.
You're the big play-by-play guy here. Oh, yeah.
Actually, I found out as the 1-1 is off the bat of Jody Garrett in on the hands. The play is made. Don't forget, by the way, join us at the Tempe Marketplace and be a part of a live audience for the Quest Diamondbacks Live postgame show. We'll broadcast from the main stage tomorrow and Tuesday at 10. Come early. Visit Cadillac Ranch, San Felipe's Cantina, and Dave & Buster's. And don't forget to ask about Miller Drink Specials. Basically, give them the key to the game. I need a pitcher. But say right-handed with a good sinker.
I was going to say, we'll just wait till the ball game's over.
That's my assignment this one. I'm the waste management guy at the big Blackhawks soccer tournament invitation.
How'd you get that job?
Because I'll probably be good at it. I mean, they don't want to make it too complicated.
Picking up the garbage?
Yeah, it's a big-time tournament. I think it's somewhere in the end of February, right before spring.
All right.
And that's my job. So you can't really have strutting Suttons when that's my job.
Well, you can have the strutting Suttons picking up the garbage around here, too.
I mean, you'll be doing network TV. Not me. Racing Gracies, the 2-1. Breaking ball is in. You'd love the sport of soccer, though. I've learned a little bit. 3-1 the count to Felipe Lopez.
Yeah, I don't mind soccer. I mean, I'm not in love with it. Soccer would be great if there was no goalie. Then you'd get some goals.
No.
I'm just nothing spine tingling about a 0-0 tie.
Gotta watch it. Gotta watch him work.
No,
I think as a
root
parent,
for Team USA, and I'm hopeful they can get to the World Cup and do well, and I'll watch them. But I don't watch the. It hasn't grown on me just like the local, like the what do they call it? Used to call it the North American Soccer League, or.
I think I'd say I'm more fond of youth soccer. I think as a parent, that's where I've fallen in love with it.
Of course, okay. Now that you're talking about that.
High pop, it into the seats it goes. So yeah, that's a sport after baseball. What's the sport in your house with the youngsters right now?
Football.
Football.
Yeah, Jackson, my 8-year-old's playing tackle football, and my 5-year-old Preston's playing flag football. So it's football right now. I mean, out there hammering people.
Wow.
Bam.
The 1-1. That one's popped a mile high, right up the chimney. Hester will give it a look. Still looking.
Down there were all at Darren's pass list. Right down there in those expensive seats.
No, no. Look at that. D-backs fan taking a picture.
We lead the league in love.
Don't we, though? And that fan, I'm told he didn't really push the button. That's a great photo. Good luck. Have a safe trip back to Wisconsin. Enjoy your winter. The 1-2. That pitch dives down and away. Send me a copy of that photo, by the way. Two and two, the count to Mike.
Well, how's he laying off those? Those are some good curveballs that a lot of people swing and miss. He's been able to lay off a couple of good ones.
Full count, 2 outs. Ryan Braun waits on deck. Yeah, laid off of all of them.
Another walk.
Is baseball's all-time saves leader down there? He might be.
Fielder Ryan Braun.
I think Trevor Hoffman's getting loose out there. 31 save season. So we'll see what happens. Might see him. Here's Ryan Braun.
There's the breaking ball he wanted.
That buckled him pretty good, didn't it? Dangerous hitter, as we said early on. Had a great conversation with him this morning. And a young man who is, as far as the fear factor goes, has probably moved himself into the top 10 in the National League. That one is fouled off, but he's been caught twice in his last 2 at-bats, not running in situations where he probably should have. Showing some frustration today.
Looking for that 100th RBI, sitting on 99 as we speak.
The 0-2 pitch. Chopper, boy, he chased the pitch high in the zone. Going in this time, though, he is erased. I'm telling you this, here's what it's all about. Yeah, that might be good. No, no.
That's the best sign of the year.
No, no. No, no. The racing. Yeah.
We were talking about that the other day. No, we were talking about this the other day. It's like, dude, you should put it in your car and just drive around with it. I go, you know how embarrassing that would be to pull up to a light and you're listening to Hell's Bells and someone see you?
Trevor Hoffman goes to work on the road. He never trots into the AC/DC classic rock song Hell's Bells, but in San Diego for all those years and now in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, he does as well. It just fits him. how much does it fit him? Todd Walsh with the conversation, and a quick thought from Trevor Hoffman. How far are you willing to take that song as being your song?
You don't play it in your iPod, though, right?
We were talking about that the other day. No, we were talking about this the other day. It's like, dude, you should put it in your car and just drive around with it. I go, you know how embarrassing that would be to pull up to a light and you're listening to Hell's Bells and someone see you?
He's a great guy, isn't he?
He's one of the best. And he's one of the best ever closers. Might be the best of all time.
He will be a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's rare when you think about any discussion. Remember, he was a Reds draft pick as an infielder out of Arizona. And that's what this failed infielder turned his career into. Fastball changeup.
Throws about 81, 82 miles an hour is all. But that's all he needs because he locates it. He's got a great changeup. 84 with that fastball. Strike one.
Miguel Montero to face Trevor Hoffman. 5-3 the score. There's the changeup as it sails away. One and one the count. Just off the plate. That fastball stays around 84, doesn't it, Gracie?
Yeah, that's usually a pitch that Trevor will get too. He'll usually get that call about 3-4 inches off the outside corner.
Five to 3, just looking to get a base runner. Not that that's meant a lot, but you have to keep up hope as that one is high, getting closer. 3-1 the count. The 3-1 pitch. Popped it up. Beat him at 84.
But it's where he locates it, Darren, right on the outside corner. If you try to pull that pitch, you're just going to ground out to second.
This is a guy, too, that loves to, in true San Diego form, not Wisconsin form, San Diego form, roll out to the beach with his boys and hop on a surfboard. He is a beach goer. The 3-2.
Well, that one was right down the middle, and that one did beat Montero, but he lives to see another pitch. And that is just right down Broadway there.
What are your memories of facing him?
I did okay on him. I just looked hard away. Looked away, rarely pitches in. Just looked away and tried not to do too much with him.
The 3-2. Strike three. Fastball. You said look away, he paints away. So Miguel Montero unhappy with that call, doing some barking there with Eric Cooper.
That's about as upset as I've seen Miguel Montero get. But he's been getting that pitch for years. You know, that's probably a couple 3 inches off the plate. But as I said, he's been getting that pitch for years, so why not? Now to the other corner.
Miggy representing his team in that frustration. And it's not as much about Eric Cooper as it is about.
That's a fair ball.
That's an out.
That's the right call there as well.
So now 2 outs, and A.J. Hinch will come out to discuss it. We'll show you all the angles, but it did, as Gracie said, look like it bounced fair. We'll see if it in fact did.
Yeah, and you can see now the Diamondbacks are really starting to complain, and that's not good to see either. fair ball. If it's in front of the plate and in fair territory, which it looks like it is, then it's a fair ball.
So Roberts is erased. Very nice heads-up play by Rivera, by the way, not taking anything for granted. And it may have been right on the fence there, but he hopped up and grabbed it right off the fence. You know what? The key is, I think, honestly, whether it was out front of the plate, whether it was to the left or to the right of the foul lines that headed out, his efforts got him that call. He hops out behind the plate, makes the play, sells it.
That's what you're taught to do. Get out there and make the play. It looked to me like that was the correct call.
You bet.
Sure, it was close.
One and 0 the count to Stephen Drew. High fly ball left field. The struggles against the team from Wisconsin continue for the Arizona Diamondbacks. They are swept by Milwaukee. Milwaukee out of the race, Arizona out of the race, no doubt about it. But again, big wins. 5-2 against Arizona each of the last